Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hobby Night. Oh.
All kinds of reality is coming through.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that. What is, because that got, yeah, I see. My camera's in a slightly different position and I hadn't realized that reality was peeking through. But hello everybody, I'm Angela, and today, Games Workshop has a fancy-wancy Adepticon preview for us. And I thought we'd go over a couple things before we actually dive into that, because we have about a half an hour before that's actually going to begin.
Thank you, Luke, for the gifted memberships.
Yes, I was going to get to that. So, Luke, you started us off right with 2 gifted memberships. Patrick McCarty and J Morgan 0424. Welcome to the Hobby Night Legion. It's lovely to have you guys join us. Luke, thank you so much for gifting us some memberships. You're building some Marvel minis while you watch the stream. That's awesome, Robert. Really glad to have you in chat. Also, Edgar, it's lovely to see you. Luke, it's lovely to see you. Havman, hello. It's lovely to have you in chat. Stacking Limit, how you doing, sir? Patrick McCarty, I see that you are, in fact, even in chat. So, hello. Glad to have you as part of our membership now. So, I figured, this is just the preview for, yes. Okay, let's look at the preview, because I haven't actually watched this yet. I forgot.
Hello there, Warhammer fans. We'd like to invite you to
another
God,
they're so loud in my ears.
And this time, it's live.
Okay, everything's fine. I lowered my own volume. Please let me know how they sound, how I sound in comparison to them.
The action at Adepticon in Milwaukee for an exclusive live reveal show. But don't worry about missing out. We'll be streaming all the reveals on Twitch.
Got it.
In fact, the Warhammer we'll be covering is so new that we've had to get a tech priest to approve the data slate before we go.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't matter if you're into Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Killteam, or Warhammer The Old World, we've got
I like all these things!
And if you think we're hyping this up too much, it's Warhammer. Over the Top is the only setting on that dial.
So make sure to be there as the future unfolds live.
Mark your calendars. You won't want to miss this.
No. Very slightly. Haha, I fixed it. All right, so that is what we are looking at in regards to what's coming up. So Warhammer 40k, Age of Sigmar, Old World, and Killteam. Pretty standard stuff for what you'd probably expect to see at a major event announcement live stream. I'm really not surprised that we're seeing those 4. Did they say actually in that, because I missed it. Did they say that there was going to be other things, or was it just those 4? Actually,
it's just those 4.
It's just those 4. Got it. Fingers crossed that they give us like one other thing, and it's Blood Bowl. Because I always want more Blood Bowl, dang it. Every time we have one of these live streams, I want Blood Bowl. Also, Steven, hello from California. It's lovely to have you here with us in Boston. How cold is it right now for you guys? We had a random like warm spell recently. I mean, we are into spring officially, so it kind of makes sense, but like it was like bam, suddenly warm weather. I don't know if that's going to maintain fully as we continue to get into like the next couple weeks, but it would be lovely if it did, because I'm absolutely adoring it. But I'm curious because like Boston's so, I mean, you're not like super north, but you're pretty north. Well, I guess, yeah, because Massachusetts is fairly north. So I imagine it's fairly cold. I didn't see Blood Bowl on the list either, but I'm optimistic that they'll like surprise us.
There is a new trailer for the video game.
Oh, is there? Did they like?
I pulled in your tabs.
Excellent. Oh yeah, actually I see it. It's the next thing we're gonna look at. Old World is really cool to see. I am excited to see what they might be releasing next. I'm still optimistic because they randomly gave us Empire when previously they said they weren't going to give us Empire, that they're just going to release everything. That it's just, we're going to get the whole line back. And then we'll be able to just openly enjoy Old World exactly as we did Warhammer Fantasy Battles, just under a slightly different name. Hello, Bruzy. Welcome. Alagas, welcome. By the way, I don't think I said hello to you specifically, but I want to call out. One of the things they did preview along with that trailer, which didn't talk about it, but yeah, this is the list. So Warhammer 40k, Age of Sigmar, Old World, and Killteam. But one of the things they did preview, and I assume this is coming from the Killteam preview. I don't think it's going to be Warhammer 40k. Well, I guess it could be for 40k specifically and not Killteam, because in theory, like, 10th edition started with NIDS, right? It was NIDS and Marines. Mm-hmm. Okay, so in theory, I suppose this could be a new starter set or something for 10th edition. I suppose we are kind of like midway through maybe the edition before they go into an 11th edition, so they could do like a halfway point starter set to get people back in. But regardless, I'm I want an entire set, and I hope it gets sold separately, of Tyranid terrain, because this is what this is. That's why I kind of thought it might be for Killteam. Because I feel like Killteam gets the more unique, weirder, and frankly cooler terrain than, say, just straight 40k does. Because 40k, I feel like you are just getting purely ruins. So many Imperial ruins. You could fill an entire ruin with these ruins. But I feel like in Killteam, they're like, we're going to give you doors. We're going to give you walls. We're going to do random, like, other terrain. And so I'm hoping this Xeno terrain is part of that. And that, like, and I hope it does well, so that it lights a fire under GW's butt to produce even more not shit Xeno terrain. Because I know they've done, like, the trees. Actually, let's look at that up. Let's see, it's Tyranid, because they are official, right? Tyranid tree terrain. Didn't they do, like, some official trees? Oh, yeah, I guess it's just these, like, tentacle-y things, isn't it? No, that's an Etsy product. I swear, I thought they did, like, these weird coral tree nonsense that just didn't look super good. But now there's so much 3D printing that, oh my god, some of these are so cool. Oh my god, some of these are so cool. All right, I love the 3D printing that's happened. Yeah, I remember some, like, old, I don't think they're produced anymore, trees, and they looked terrible. So I hope we get something other than that, and I kind of like the direction this is going in. Maybe there'll be some cool, like, alien, like, eggs, like Tyranid eggs or something. Probably be a little too alien, but I'm excited. Luke, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. The Ultimate Supreme Edition. Yes, free Radio Armageddon. That's exactly what they're going to do. That would be something, I feel like that would be something GW would definitely do. Speaking of Games Workshop, let's go ahead and watch this new trailer for Blood Bowl 3. Oh, Amazonians, probably. Maybe with the, or Lizardmen. Blood Bowl 3 was such an oh, Lizardmen for sure then. Oh no, Amazonians! Oh my god, they're beautiful.
They're on season 8.
They're on season 8 of the 3rd game? Dang!
So maybe now if you can get like a bundle, it might be worth it.
Honestly, that's what I was about to say, because like...
Gameplay wise,
yeah, it looks...
It's just Blood Bowl.
Yeah, it literally looks like Blood Bowl. So I want to talk about this for a second, because I, myself, love Blood Bowl. Love the tabletop game. Loved Blood Bowl 2. Didn't play a huge amount of it myself, but the little that I did play, it helped me actually learn the tabletop game. And I know that, like, this edition, this Blood Bowl 3, the digital edition, is, I believe, 1-to-1 with the current rules, if I'm not mistaken, for current Blood Bowl.
Yes.
So if you were wanting to learn the game, potentially, without having to actually purchase miniatures yet to see if this is even something you would enjoy, there is a chance that this game could sway you. The one thing I want to say about it is the launch of this game, there's actually two things I want to say about it. First thing is the launch of this game was rocky, because I think when the game launched, they gave you 4 teams, and that was it. And a lot of stuff was, like, just overpriced, and you had to pay for it additionally in order to get them, which really left people with a bad taste in their mouth, because 2 had everything. Every team that was possibly available in Blood Bowl was currently available in 2, and most of them had been free. I think there were some, of course, that probably were DLC, but, like...
But they were like things like the Dark Elves, the Wood Elves. It
was basic team. It was like, but when this game launched, they were doing like some of the more basic common teams were behind a paywall, and that just like left a really bad taste in people's mouth. I assume they've addressed that, because I don't feel like people would be playing or like talking about this game as much if they still were doing that. I just don't, because the community was pissed. And I just feel like if this community is going to abandon this game, then the game's just not going to survive. And they wouldn't be putting content out if it hadn't been surviving. So clearly they must have done something to probably fix that or adjust it or make it like, maybe they're unlockable as you play. I don't know what they decided to do, but hopefully that's better now. But as I said, if you want to learn the game, this is a really good way to do it. The caveat is that the game is doing a lot of the math for you. And there are certain things that when you're playing in the tabletop, because you are physically doing the dice rolling and then having to do some addition and subtraction, etc., you'll just want to pay attention to that if you do move into the tabletop version. Kita, are you happy and excited that Warhammer 40k is doing or Games Workshop is doing another preview? Oh god, the silence means she's not. But yeah, so like this is a really cool game. Let's finish the trailer now, because I've rambled. I agree. Blitzbowl should totally be in more stores than just Barnes & Noble. I think, correct me if I'm wrong. God, yeah, Season 8. Wild. Well, very cool to see the Amazonians added into that. Because who doesn't like a bunch of half-naked ladies with snakes around their necks? They're pretty fantastic. What do we got here? A Nightmare and Visions trailer. Ooh. Oh, for Darktide. Yes. Darktide also had a recent update, which looks really cool. And Chaos Cultist and I have actually been talking about this. I think we're going to try jumping back into Darktide sometime soon.
Yeah, once Rogue Trader is passed and we're in more of a, let's just try random games now and then for the gaming channel.
Yeah, I think we'll do jump back into not Rogue Trader. I'm finishing that up this Saturday. Right here on this channel. I'm so excited. We're going to conclude the game. Obviously, I'll come back to it when the new DLC comes out, but once we're done, I'll be stepping away from Rogue Trader for a little while, and Darktide is on our short list of games to play on the gaming channel, which is Hobby Night Gaming. If you have not subscribed already, go do so after this. It'll be good for you. It'll be good for you. But let's watch the new trailer for Darktide to see what updates they have. Peggy 18. Okay, I like new trials. Havoc Duty expanded. Okay. I don't think I've tried the Havoc Duty. I think that came in after I'd stopped, and they've even made it fancier.
To the nightmares and visions. Conquer Stephanie's trials in the theaters of mortification.
Ooh, what a cool looking area.
The enemies aren't real, but your pain is.
The enemies aren't real, but your pain is. How would they make Blood Bowl into a TV series, though?
Against the hordes.
You do it as a drama, like Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights? I don't think...
Just do it like a drama of a team that's on the down and outs, and they're having to win back.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay.
The coach
an underdog story.
A teenage member of the Empire from joining in with Chaos, and instead of going to Chaos, he comes to practice for Blood Bowl.
And he rises to become a star player?
Yeah.
Nice, I like it.
Basically take the good Christian story and turn on this.
Yeah. I could see that. I could actually see that. I would then applaud if that happened, because I want it. Wow, the game has really expanded. Ooh. They've changed you up a little bit.
Nightmares and visions. Only in
I am looking forward to jumping back into this, actually. I knew changes had occurred. I didn't realize how. Are we going to a winter area? Do we all get cool hats? Oh my god, that's so rad. She also looks so cool. I don't know if she's our commander or what's going on there. If she's a playable character or what, but nice.
I think she's a character.
They just leaked the models themselves on the website. You mean for the preview today? Well, we're not gonna go look at leaks. We're gonna wait until it officially comes out. Now we're gonna move a little bit away from 40k while we wait for them to get their butts in gear.
Are we still saying Grimdark?
Huh?
Are we still Grimdark?
We are still Grimdark. No, actually, well, yes. We're in World of Tanks. So I suppose it'll be fairly grimdark. This is not going to be grimdark, is it? I think I know what trailer this is.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Okay, this is a great trailer. So
I chose this trailer.
So for those of you that
we love anime and we love tanks in this household.
We do. If you didn't know that, surprise! This actually makes me really excited because guess what's coming to World of Tanks?
Darjeeling.
Woo! Girls und Panzer. Her with her tea. My favorites are actually coming up, though, I will admit. Yeah, Erica! Oh, they put themselves on accident? Whoops!
Good job, guys.
Oh my god. Lord Vader, this isn't that kind of channel. Sorry. No, not right now. But if they, like... We'll see. I think they're just trolling. Not sure why she's being so whiny. I fed her before we, while we ate. I might run down there and give her a little bit more. If she continues to whine. I love that this is in the game. I love how much World of Tanks actually collabs with people. Oh no, it's a trans-friendly channel, absolutely. How big do I think Space Marine 3 is gonna be? I could see them potentially going as far as to, like, double what they did in the last game. Like, it really depends. 2 did so well, and they, like, GW wants Warhammer 40k to, like, blow up.
Like, I feel like 3 needs something more.
That's the thing.
I
mean, they kind of are in a sense with the multiplayer already in 2, right?
Even push it further.
I mean, I can see that, but I still feel like they need a solid narrative campaign because, like, that's what people... That's what... Let me clarify. That's what I play Space Marine and Space Marine 2 for, like, the 1 and the 2. But, like... Guys, like, I don't know. I feel like it could be huge. It could be the same size as 2. I think the interesting thing that would end up happening is if they basically set it up. Okay, so like here's my thought. Space Marine 3 could be essentially the passing of the torch. Like we could end Titus's narrative. Like he doesn't have to die or anything. He could be like turned into a dreadnought. That would be kind of cool. But I don't like necessarily need Titus to die or anything like that. But I really think it'd be interesting if we then ended up just following a new brother. Whether it be an Ultramarine, whether it be a Space Wolf. I know Space Wolves are a particularly popular chapter. I mean, really, you could do like a lot of chapters though. You could do Black Templar. That would be really popular, but I think that would be also like riskily problematic potentially because of the Black Templar attitude sometimes with like just the purge everything. I mean, I know most Space Marines are purge everything, but like Black Templar really go at it. You could also like Space Wolves, like I said, Black Templar, you could do Blood Angels. Blood Angels would be super, super cool. Like that would be really rad. I don't know. I feel like if 3's gonna end up being large, like a really big expansive game, then eventually I feel like you need to have 2 main characters, essentially. Like I almost feel like Titus can be a character that you play as, but I feel like there should be sections of the game.
You play as an orc.
Dude, that would be cool. I would take either. I think playing as an orc would be really cool. I don't think they're gonna do that. because it is called Space Marine. So therefore, what I think they would and could get away with doing is no. Well, Sister would be cool. Actually, I hadn't thought of that. But Chaos Space Marine. I think it'd be really cool if you got to play on the other side.
I mean, you do in the multiplayer.
You do, but I want in the narrative. Like, in the same way that in, like, Dawn of War, you are able to play, like, the Imperial faction, like, campaign, and you're able to do the Space Marine campaign, etc. I would love for there to be an interwoven narrative campaign for Space Marine 3 that allowed us to play both as Titus and either a new introduced, like, Chaos Marine of some variety, a scout. It could be like a young sorcerer, like somebody who just turned and is maybe struggling with their turn. I don't know. I think that could be really interesting, where either it ends up being, if he is freshly turned, it could be a potential redemption story. It also could be a Marine who thinks he's turning, who's maybe struggling with his, like, dogmatic duty to the Emperor and is being corrupted, and, like, Titus guides him, but we get portions of the game where we are playing as that dude separately, potentially even with Titus, like, down the line when they reach back, like, meet back up. But I don't know, I think that could be really, 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 really interesting. So I'm gonna pop over to Twitch just to make sure that they're...
Yeah, they might have the starting soon on.
Yeah. Okay, they do have the starting soon on. Okay, we'll keep this. I'll keep an eye on this. But I wanted to watch one more trailer with you guys before we begin. And it's very grimdark, unlike the last thing, which was a little bit anime. This is very, very, very grimdark. And Tainted Grail, if you guys aren't familiar with this, started as a board game. It was on Kickstarter. I think I bought into it. I can't remember. Yeah, Chaos Cultist bought into it. We got, like, the whole thing. Really, really cool stuff. Has some amazing miniatures. Early on in the production, they made a digital version of the game, and it has gotten huge. So I wanted to watch this trailer real quick as we wait for the last little bit of the Twitch stream for 40K to start. So let me full screen it.
It's time to wake.
I like the music that they used in this trailer. I also just love the visuals. Like, they have done, like, honestly, this gives me a little bit of Skyrim vibes, and I'm not,
that's what they're going for.
And I approve. I am totally okay with that. More so even than what's the one that you just finished that I'm, like, Avowed. Like, this actually gives me more Skyrim vibes than Avowed did. Which I don't think is a bad thing, by the way. Avowed is a fantastic game. Just don't go in expecting it to be Skyrim, because it is not. It is more like Dragon Age Origins, or like...
Concentrate on what's on screen.
Sure.
I'm sorry, but I don't take fashion advice from people wearing rags.
Well, it's fine. I play a fashion game, I'll go find one of those fancy dresses. Like, look how much you end up getting to do. You're, like, crafting a bunch of stuff, you're collecting, like, things, you're fishing. It's just like Skyrim. But honestly, I feel like the story might be more interesting. I've played a fair number of sessions of Tainted Grail in the tabletop version, and I actually really like how they handle their narrative, progressing through the story and everything. So, honestly, that's one we should get back into. I thought, oh no, we didn't start that when we read the book. That's right, because it was so overwhelming because they had the big, No, I'm thinking of, sorry, I got it confused with Oathsworn, which we did start. Yes. See you later, Luke. Get some rest. Right, Robert? It was so good. And I feel like people are, like, shitting on Avowed just because it's not Skyrim. But yeah, Tainted Grail, if you guys like dark fantasy, if you want something that is very Arthurian, like a dark oh my gosh. Oh, I'm hearing this. I was like, what am I hearing? If you want like a dark Arthurian story with a Skyrim-like looking gameplay, then I would check out Tainted Grail. I would also suggest checking out the, I'm gonna full screen this, the board game version because it is quite lovely and the miniatures are very cool. Which is so... Okay, Aaron, you're right. I feel like Games Workshop does sometimes try to make Chaos seem inept, but then they always backpedal and make it so that Abaddon constantly succeeds at getting, like, his way and progressing his stuff forward. So, like, yeah, they do kind of make them seem inept, but they always also make them win in a weird way. Like, because...
The Imperium is even more inept.
Yeah, like, which just makes the Imperium be like, okay, so you technically won that battle, but he still snuck away with whatever artifact or doohickey that he needed to progress, like, whatever the hell he's doing, so...
I have the MacGuffin of Jehoshaphat!
Oh no! Are you playing a drinking game? Is that why? Or are you just, like... Or are you just having a good time? I want to see the Space Wolves. I'm not going to look at the leaks. And we weren't on the... Oh, never mind. It's just an ad. I thought they were starting. I was like, oh, yay! But no! Oh, actually, I'm gonna move myself over here so I can block some of that. There we go.
Oh, the ads?
Yeah, the ads.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun! Oh my god, they're so dramatic.
Remember, Twitch is weird. You can go to Warhammer Community and it tends to play better.
Does it actually? I feel like...
Don't fuss with them, it's fine.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, I've always felt like I struggle whenever I go. GW has been suffering with how do we progress the plot for, like, 20 years. Because they're so focused on just...
I mean, status quo, so...
Yeah, they're just, like, they're like, we can't lead the Horus Heresy, and we can't actually, like, progress things forward to have the Tyranids come in more, or have, like, anything actually be threatened or changed. Although, I will say that I am completely within the theory of, like... Okay, I think was it you? I know you and I were talking about it, but I can't remember if you saw it on, like, X or Twitter or whatever, or, like, Reddit or just online generally, but we were talking about how, like, one of the theories that's out there that, like, could end up doing the end times for 40k and allowing GW to do whatever, like, 40k 2.0 they want to do in the same way that they did Age of Sigmar. Basically, Age of Sigmaring 40k, because I feel like that is the path we're slowly, painfully heading towards. And one of the prevailing theories, I think that, like, Chaos Cultist and I were talking about, I can't remember where we heard it, was that something could, like, basically the Tyranids could be coming in, and one of the ways to prevent them from hitting their mark, essentially, is by somehow the entire galaxy, like, gets taken into the Immaterium and the Warp for a temporary amount of time, so that basically the Tyranids overshoot, like, miss the galaxy, so that saves the galaxy, but then that, like, merges the Warp and real space together because of it being a galaxy-wide, sucked into the Warp, spit back out, the Warp goes with it, right? And I feel like that could get them to a point where they then are like, the realms, or whatever nonsense that they would do with, you know, how they Age of Sigmar-ified Warhammer Fantasy Battles. And I think that could be interesting. Like, I'm not fully against it because it's so outrageous. And I feel like having the Immaterium, like, basically having the Warp exist in real space is not as incomprehensible of a change as, like, the way that they broke up the planet that everybody was living on in Warhammer Fantasy Battles and turned it into, like, these 7 existing, like,
I also like
doorway
it because
realms.
there's much existing context for stuff in the Warp going much slower or faster than real time, right?
Yep.
So you could have something where the universe only experienced 8 hours of hell.
Right.
Or something like that. Whereas it took like 100 years in real space for the NIDS to move through. I'm
Yes.
shutting up.
Nope, no problem.
Live preview show coming to you from Nottingham. My name's Nick. This is Alex. We're really excited to be with you this evening. Al, we've got so much stuff to show people, right?
Yep, I'm incredibly excited. We've got stuff from Warhammer 40,000.
I'm gonna raise their volume because they're so fucking soft.
It's going to be great. That's all coming up very soon. Now, this weekend we are celebrating it, of course, as Adepticon over there in America, in Milwaukee. If you're there at the event, hello. You may have.
Is that good? Do they sound all right?
I'm sure you already, but keep quiet for now. Great to have you here. But of course, there's folks all around the world. Please let us know in the chat where you are. And in fact, this evening we're helped out because we are live. You can ask us questions.
Thumbs up in chat if they sound
over in
good.
Question Corner. Ed, how you doing? All right.
Good, thanks, Nick. Yeah,
Good to have you here, man.
If you've got any questions, do start with question right at the beginning, and it will help me filter out to try and see what everyone wants to ask.
Now, crucially, that is in the Twitch chat only. I know we're on YouTube as well, but if you're in Twitch, please put your questions in there.
I don't know what it is. Like, I have the same problem sometimes when I'm watching Wrestle Talk. Like,
so much.
Ollie will be speaking, and then he'll suddenly back off his microphone, and I can't fucking understand what he's saying. And I'm like, bro, speak into your microphone! Drives me nuts. They sound great? Good. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, no, I want to be louder than them, but I don't want them to be so soft that you can't hear them. Let's go.
That was very exciting.
There's lots of cool stuff there.
You've seen us, you've seen the sizzle reel. It's now time to jump straight into the old world with the Wood Elf realms.
Here we go.
Yeah, so the Wood Elves are the
Wood Elves are returning to the old world!
No, they said they're not bringing any of those old races back because they didn't want to, like, conflict with Age of Sigmar. Remember that.
I remember that too! They're just gonna bring the entire Warhammer Fantasy Battles back, you guys.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely. Elite
Look at the entire
tabletop.
the
These
entire
guys
thing.
are superb at shooting you off the table. Yeah, Alex is absolutely right. What he says there. We've also got the hero here, the Araloth Lord of Talson as well, who's coming alongside the Wood Elves.
Oh, very cool.
This guy was a coward in his youth, right?
Yes, he was a cowardly youth. However, having fallen from his horse and found an elf goddess, as you do, he then regained his courage and eventually went on to slay Morga the Corruptor.
A superb Lord
My
level hero
goodness.
for your Wood Elf forces. This guy carries his bird into battle. Scarin the Eye Thief there can be sent across the battlefield to peck the eyes out of your enemies, which is great fun. And of course, alongside the Arcane Journal, which is coming.
Oh, was it Wood Elves were the ones included, but Dark Elves were not? That doesn't make sense. Wood Elves exist in the modern game, right? The whole point was that they said that they weren't going to put any of the races that were in Age of Sigmar into Old World. That's what I remember them saying.
Leading his wild hunt, one of the armies of infamy there, as well as magic items, new units which you can take as well for conversion.
That's what I mean. Is like technically they exist in the mortal realms, so I thought that was the point. They didn't want to like
returning to the Wood Elf realms,
mix them up. But I think they just thrown that out the window.
Forest cats, sylvan boars, and even a bear of Lauren. So you can have a bear running around your Wood Elf army. That sounds great.
That's cool.
So there we are.
You mentioned beasts there. But Wood Elves aren't the only thing.
But you're going to talk about a bear and then not show us the bear mini?
Beastmen Brighthoods returning.
Yes.
So, likewise,
Beastmen! My boys! They're not actually my boys. I ran Chaos. Chaos Warriors. But
Absolutely right.
these
Yeah,
were
the
a
Beastmen, of course,
contender.
a wild force
I
in
love that.
Warhammer the Old World.
I love his-
super
What is
powerful.
his face?
Lots of
Beastmen you
cheap
like so much.
infantry running around all over the table, and some terrifying.
Well, you can go
monsters
to
as
another
well.
website to
And
find
there's a
the
brand
answer
new
to that
miniature coming
question.
for them as well. We've seen this one
Oh
before.
my!
This is
Oh,
far
look
more
how cute
pocket
he
winning.
is! I like this little guy. Oh, you can't see my mouse. Never mind. I like the little guy on the stump with the mask.
Mystical, magical.
He's
Tends to
adorable.
be given a bit of an easy ride. They love that. Krolmor is a prophet. He can, see the future, which has allowed him to stay one step ahead of his enemies. And we mentioned Orion before. Orion is currently hunting him. However,
Hello, J Morgan 0424. How are you doing today?
Spirit that he accompanies into battle can be placed on the battlefield to cast devolving magic at enemies from afar, which is quite good fun. Now, it's worth pointing out.
You think they're going to find a way to ditch the basic witch elves from the Daughters of Cain? I could see that, I suppose.
So don't expect just this. There's loads more coming as well. And of course, we've got the
Main reason they don't want to
Arcane
bring Dark
Journal
Elves
for the
back. They're
Beastmen
just
Brave
really
Elves.
ashamed of what they did with Marathi and Malachi. Or not Malachi.
Great
Sorry,
units,
Marathi
you
and
really do. We've got historical
Malekith. Sorry, I called him
Malekith.
Malachi. I was thinking of the wrestler.
New units, new heroes in there, new magic. You can take a herd stone for your force as well. Look, if you're a Beastman fan, you want to get this book.
They
That's
probably
great. Now,
are distinct enough, but I just find it really funny that they like keep doing this, where they keep bringing like Empire was brought back, and they have literally cities of Sigmar, which is just Empire. What do we got next?
Grand Cathay is among the oldest civilizations in the world.
we actually getting miniatures for Grand Cathay?
Under the watch of my father, Sen Yang, the Celestial Dragon Emperor, Grand Cathay stands as a bulwark of harmony against the forces of darkness. Now, as the hordes
Are
of
we
chaos
actually
threaten
getting
to
Grand
reach
Cathay
our sacred
miniatures?
battlements,
Because if,
this
oh my
haven
god,
of order prepares for war.
this isn't just for
Upon
Warhammer
the
Total War
walls of
3,
the
right?
Great Bastion,
Hello, Lord
are
Ironfang
mustered
Werewolf?
countless soldiers,
I don't think so.
ingenious war machines, and other more esoteric
starter set
defenders
focused
who
on
stand ready,
That would be so
determined
rad.
to hold back the tide. Resolutely, I perform the duty bestowed on
Oh my god,
me
these are gonna
by
look so
my
cool.
divine
Just show me the
father
miniatures, please. I mean, this is great.
centuries ago.
I also love this art.
Through devout study
Oh, I
of
really
the
love this
powers
art,
of
but
yin
like,
and
just show
yang,
me the miniatures, please.
I master the elements and summon lightning from the heavens.
Dare you do-
striking our
dare you fucking do.
foes And inspiring all those who fight beneath my banner. I am the master of the storm winds and the supreme matriarch of Nangao. I am
Oh my god, it's lagging so hard. Okay. Gosh, she looks. Please show me her miniature. I like, even if it's just one, just show me her.
Grand Cathay.
Yes?
Our eternal empire.
A mini, please. Yes! Oh my god, they look so cool! Oh!
I'm into
Oh, I'm so into it!
it. Old world. Yes.
Oh my god, that
That
is
is
sick!
amazing.
I am
Wow.
so hyped.
Wow.
After watching that.
What a video. What a range.
This
Let's
is
talk
so
about it.
great.
So, Grand
I have my
Cathay
ogres.
is here.
You
marching
do!
into the old world.
Oh, she's so
Alex,
cool!
Who are the Grand Cathay?
So Grand Cathay is one of the oldest
Dude,
civilizations
I
in the world.
love
Legend
the
that spans
giant
sort of an
stone,
eternal
like,
against the
warriors.
evils of the world.
I
surrounded
love-
by
I
cities,
actually love
farms,
the
great
floating,
mountains,
like-
and it's had a sort of
The balloons.
internal stability.
Oh my god, the
But
banners, can we
the
talk? Are they
nations tend to be
sculpted? I wonder if
in a
they're
lot of
sculpted.
turmoil because it's
I know, I can tell that, like, the
dragons,
tops are
mainly
sculpted. I
the
can't tell if the
celestial
dragon's
dragon
sculpted.
Emperor himself. And as you can imagine, having an immortal leader.
Any lag you're having is on their end. We haven't dropped a single frame.
Oh,
What a great
yeah, no, it's definitely on
idea
them.
and
It's their
concept
video
for a force.
packages.
And it's a very different
oh,
army
thank
to
you.
anything else you might see in Warhammer the Old World. They are
Dude,
elite
I love
army,
the
heavily
art.
armed and heavily armored. Even the basic troops.
Oh,
are
I
super
really
elite.
love the art.
There's
Oh,
the
they're gonna be
troop
so fun to
cavalry war
paint.
engines,
Oh, with all the oranges and
terrifying
teals.
monsters. And we're going to go through a
that's
few
gonna be
of
so
them
good.
now because the battalion box set, which we see here, is what a great scope of miniatures we've got in front of us.
Okay,
But first and foremost,
correct me
let's
if
talk
I'm
about
wrong.
The infantry. Alex, the
They're
Jade
brand
Warriors, who
new.
are they?
They've,
So the
as
Jade
far
Warriors
as
are
I
the
am
very
aware,
sort of
Outside
figure
of
the cities
Dogs of War.
So they're known
right?
as
Which
the
I didn't think they even really
because,
did
the
that many like
backstories
Cathay
sort of
specific
dragon
No, there
miniatures
was
for
like
that.
one
Presents with
unit
the nature of
decades
the
ago.
empire.
They've never done
Alliance,
miniatures for this
everyone
faction
seems
before.
to
Cathay has
think
always been a faction that's sort of been like
is where their strength
hinted
comes
at.
in.
These
in the
arcs,
lore,
you're absolutely right,
talked
that's reflecting
about
the rules as
vaguely.
well. These guys have the rule defensive
In old
stance,
lore-
where if they remain
China,
stationary, they can
basically.
re-roll ones
Yeah.
in the combat phase on their saves.
Dude,
which
this is
cool.
so cool. I mean, this is
Something to
obviously
point out in
because
this box
of
set as
how
is that
well
while you can
Total War
build every
Warhammer
single
3 is
model
done.
against different
It's
And they,
survived
one of
pretty
the great
well.
varieties of
despite
Jade
its
Warriors
launch.
that is
Yes,
every
I mean, the
model
same
you
thing
can
with,
choose a
like-
male or
I mean,
female
obviously the
as
same thing
well.
with Blood Bowl 3.
All your Jade Warriors can be female or male.
God, this
up
is
to you,
so
which is
cool.
Really, really cool.
dude, look at this,
but
the face sculpts. They did a
They're
great
not just the only
job.
thing. They've got maybe
They did
the
a
handle of the
really,
army
really
with
good
the Jade
job.
Warriors, but let's talk about the Jade Lancers, the cavalry. These guys are special.
I
Yeah,
freaking
the Jade
love
Warriors are the
cavalry.
shield. These guys are a spear. They're the knights of
And
the
like
Celestial
Chinese
Host.
cavalry
They're forged
is
in
gonna
battle
like
and
look how
fought
cool
in
they
the
are. We don't even get to
disciplined
see the guys in the
soldiers
background.
of the
Screw
great
that. Do
cities.
you see the dude with the double
Other
drum?
cities
Ugh.
guys, multiple
I want
regiments of these
it. I want it
guys.
so bad.
Manage at least one. On the battlefield.
Oh my
basically,
God, Kislev
they
is
are
gonna
able
be
to charge and
sick.
annihilate the enemy. They specialize in sort of getting through.
Dude,
the narrow
Kislev- oh my God, the
passageways and alleyways
bears.
of the cities to
All of the
counterattack.
They're
bars.
absolutely devastating cavalry, Alex. On the charge, these
My
guys can
worry
fight
with
in an extra
Kislev
rank
is that they're gonna
with their lances,
overbear
so
it,
that makes
though.
them super hitty. And
Like,
also
and
the
I don't mean,
Cathayan
like,
Cathayan
overbear as in,
lets
like,
this unit follow up from combat and
overbearing. I
counter
mean, like,
next
literally
turn,
have
just
too
so
many
they straight through
bears.
units and
The
units
animal.
are absolutely devastating. But if you don't want to get too close to your
It's-
opponent, like the Jade
I
Lancers do,
agree.
maybe you want to fancy
I
taking some of
completely
these
agree. I'm
artillery
gonna
pieces
butcher
as
your
well.
name, sir, but I'm gonna
Shot
try.
leader.
It's
What we got?
Sinsane.
So all along the Great Bastion, you've
it's
got
sea
rocket
sane.
launchers and cannons. of
It's sea
all
insane.
sizes. You know, the rocket launchers.
I hope I said that
fire
at least
wing
one
rocket
of the
batteries,
ways that I
might
said
be a
it
little bit
correctly.
inaccurate,
But I
but
agree with you.
incredibly
It is
deadly,
so cool to
launching
actually
explosives
see
from
these
distances.
guys getting.
This,
Oh, I love
fire
that.
ring
Getting
rocket battery
miniatures
is a
and
portable
actually
version
like
of the war machine,
being
crewed by disciples
a
of
part of the
Alpha
world
Psi,
that they were
specialising in
technically a part of
manufacturing
since the
gunpowder.
beginning,
No
but like
gunpowder
GW
can be
never
thoroughly
did
gunpowder.
anything with it.
So many
And I don't know if it's just
cannon
because they were
also
afraid
exist,
to like
but the,
touch the Chinese
foremost is the
like
Killteam
aesthetic because they were worried they would be
Everything's
like
a
honestly
forged
frankly
in
too
Mount
racist or something
and
like
you've got
that or
that
what.
wonderful
But I think they
dragon
nailed
head
it.
shaped
These
on
are
the front.
great.
And
I love this
it's
old man with the
bigger
giant
and
backpack and I
Some
love
very
this ogre
powerful
so
pieces
much.
of loadout, which is actually an upgrade for the
His little beard is so good.
Protecting your
It's
artillery
the bare
posts with gunpowder
necessities.
bombs. He can help the
You're right.
cannon move faster by lugging it along, and also it can allow it to shoot once per game in one phase, which is pretty impressive.
I
It's
try
super
really
fast.
hard
The grand
to
cannon
say your
you see
names
here,
correctly and I
does
I
such
ruin it.
devastating damage, has thunderous impact on its shots, slowing down enemy units nearby where the shot landed, and the firing rocket battery can choose a multiple different types of
that's
ammunition,
cool.
depending on whether it's going for big targets.
Oh,
or
that's
for
and
big
his
units.
backpack change.
It can be
Oh
really
my
nice.
god.
My favourite detail has, I've got to point out.
Oh, and his pose
check out
change.
the
Oh
graphic
my
art
god.
with the bamboo rocket who's smoking
I love
the
it.
pipe right next to the rocket.
That's great.
What a hero! What a hero.
Dude, you should.
Love this stuff. But
You
that's
should.
the
You
ones
should
that we
totally
see in
use
the
the ogres as
battalion.
man-eaters.
We've also got some other stuff as well. This
I
is
think
the
these are
Sky
so
Lantern. Tell me
cool.
about these.
Yes,
Like-
it's a beautiful centerpiece miniature. It's an intricately
Nope, this way.
decorated construction
The-
of
no.
paper and
Oh, no.
silk and held aloft by
Okay, this way. There we go.
vermilion
These
winter,
cool
especially
things right
burning
here.
wings and forcing all that hot air up into it to give it lift.
And this is
The
coming from a
crew then sit in an
person
armoured
who is
gondola
not
in order to
overly
direct it
fond
using those sails on
of the
side.
air
It's a
balloons
wonderful
for
feat of ingenuity.
and I apologize to anybody that
One
is
side and
a
grey
fan of
on the
this.
other.
It's not my thing.
Seems the best
I
thing
don't
to use.
like the
Now,
air
you can see
balloons
in that
of
gondola,
the
you've got a
dwarf
Lord Magistrate or strategist,
flying units.
and
I
these
just
are
I don't-
commanders of cities and the institutions. Of
I just
government.
don't know. I don't really like
Take
their
a view from the
shape.
back,
How dare you.
and they can
Like,
guide
I
from
like
Sky
the
Lantern using
concept
banners and banners.
of sky
This is
pirate
great.
dwarfs.
The
I
magistrate you
love
see
that
there is,
concept.
a hero choice for the
I
court,
just
and you
don't
can choose to
personally
personalise
like the
that
aesthetic
if you
that
want
they
to. You
went
can
with.
if you want to as well.
And it's not
or
even
you
that
can
it's
take
too
a
like it's
Sky
overly
Lantern without one
steampunk.
of those
I
if you
like
want
the
to as
steampunk
well.
aesthetic. I
It's
just
a huge,
yeah, these are
rare
sky
heavy
lanterns, and I
turret
just
based
love
on
that.
A size, which is quite cool. And you can equip the gunners.
I want
with
to
all
see
of an
somebody.
array of
I don't
gunpowder
think
weapons
I
and
would
bombs,
have the skill to do it. I want to see
including the
somebody make
actual,
it look like there is a
lantern itself
fire
has those huge
inside, so that you
skeleton
get a
bombs
little bit of
underneath
like a
it, which are absolutely
transparent. Because those
devastating.
like
One of my
the
favourite
lanterns
rules
in like
about
real
this
life are
thing
very
is the
thin,
Eye of the
so I feel like you
Dragon
could see a
rule,
glow
which
of the
lets
flame or
Cathayan
something.
artillery use this model's line of sight, so the crew on board are directing the artillery fire.
Yeah, I think it's
for
the
rest
Thunder
of the
Barge. I
board,
can't remember.
which is
It's like
fantastic. So,
there's some of them I remember are that are okay, and then but there's like one in particular that I was just like, what is that faction called?
Sky Lantern.
I don't even remember. It's not.
absolutely good. You don't have to be a level 4 brush sorcerer to complete that. So there we go. Fantastic news. The Cathayan players.
Age of
That's not the
Sigmar
only
dwarfs.
centerpiece model
Age
we've got.
of
Of course, up next
Sigmar.
we've got the
Oh, look at that
Cathayan
statue.
Sentinels.
I know the
It's
Sentinels.
Look at the size of this thing,
Okay,
Alex. Tell me
you're
more.
right. The Sentinels are so
Animated
cool.
Statues, and if legend is to be believed,
Dude, I
they
love
were
the
built by the
masks.
Dragon
I
Emperor
love
himself
actually
many
the
thousands
treatment
of
they
years
did with the
ago to
color
combat
scheme.
chaos.
Because they have a little
Terracotta
bit of
Sentinels are
that
crafted
like.
from magically charged red earth.
It's not
and they
quite
tend to be found along
terracotta,
the Great Bastion
But it almost has
south.
that vibe.
However, Sentinels
Yeah,
can be
the
found across
Caradon
ground
Overlords.
cafe,
Thank you.
know,
Yeah, those are.
anywhere.
I'm not like
They're made of
overly
different stones,
fond
so, like,
of
granite
that
sentinels
full
watch over Sky
aesthetic.
Pass in the Mountains of Morn, Obsidian Sentinels defend the border against the Blood Nagas of Koresh, and Warpstone Sentinels formed from clay infused with warpstone dust. Sort of watch
But
over
to
the
be
desert
fair,
roads
I
and
also
the
don't
Warpstone
really
Desert.
like in general what GW did to the dwarves modernly. Granted, I
Lots of
don't know
different
their
rules in
lore
the game
in
as
full.
well, so
I
the
just know that
Terracotta
like I
Sentinel,
don't like
can
how
regenerate,
I think it's like you've
while
got the sky
Granite
dwarves,
Sentinel
which I
has
do think
effect
again
on,
is a
so
very
the
cool
Warpstone
concept.
Sentinel is
But then there's
going
also
to
like the
sort of
the
really badly affect the
oh,
nearby
what
enemy
is-
troops, decreasing their toughness, which is really horrible.
what's the
These
elfin,
things are huge. Rare
dwarf
behemoths,
combo that goes
and
around
are
in
just great
Old
fun,
World and ended up
and
getting
definitely
thrown
have
over
one
to
of your force.
Sigmar?
But let's have a look at another
Oh,
centerpiece model here,
Go Trek
which is
and
Gengar
Okay,
Lord on the
Go
Great
Trek.
Spirit Long March.
He is
These
a
guys tend to be the descendants
What
of the Celestial
type of
Dragon,
dwarf?
Dragon-blooded.
Slayer.
The
I
natural
also
sorcerers
don't
with
like that there's the
just
whole
as
like
skilled
Slayer
wielding elemental wings
peer
as they are
faction.
with a blade. blade. They're gifted.
I
with
thought you
weapons
were
and
about
armor
to say
pages of Wei
you
Jing.
didn't like
They fight
Slayers
for the
and you were
front.
gonna get a
These guys
bobbin.
are no
No, of course I love
Absolutely not, and
Slayers.
they're basically
I wanted to
warrior
be a
wizards,
Slayer.
so these
Okay.
models can either be a hero
Yeah.
or a lord choice.
You don't have to be
depending on
Bob.
which one you
I
go
will
for, it
not.
could be a level
This
one,
is
level
so
two,
cool.
or
The
it could be
dragon,
increased, so you could have a level 4 Shengengan
I am a
if you
sucker
wanted to,
for Asian
all flying
dragons,
around in this
so I am all. And this is
beautifully,
actually, I think, like an Asian
sculpted
unicorn,
Longmar flying
technically.
beast. Just a wonderful.
So I don't think it's.
well,
Oh, I mean,
both
it's got
royal
the
and
wings.
wizard
I don't
generally
actually
really good
know.
force and a stunning
I don't know
sense of
which
level
mythical
too.
creature this
But
is in
other
Chinese
choices
lore,
for
but I
your
know
heroes
it is an
include
existing
big
like
masters
mythical
of
creature in
the
Chinese lore. It's so fucking
these are the
cool,
leaders
and I'm
of
so
the
excited to see
They've
it.
earned their position through skill.
Okay,
and
the banner is not
experience, and
sculpted.
they've
It's
served
they
for
probably did a
almost
decal or
decade,
painted
and
it,
they're
and
the
or
masters of defensive warfare and
used the
precision.
computer.
Absolutely
Well,
right. They're
yeah,
battle-hardened veteran leaders for your
Fancy did
forces.
sculpt
You
their
don't need to be
banners.
heroes or or lords.
Oh, did they
You
not
get
do
two
that
in the
much?
box,
Okay.
enough to make a fighters if you want to, including all the
would you
bits to
paint
make a
your own
battle
then?
standard bearer. And you
I don't
want
wanna have to paint my own. I wanna find a little cool pattern.
So you don't have to hand paint that yourself. These guys are wonderful leaders to have in your force to direct your models in play. Now, of
It's a
course,
dragon horse? Okay,
Alongside
got
this,
it.
we are going to see the Grand
Does it? Is it? Does the
Arcane
word
Journey
start
as
with
well.
like? Does
So this is
the
the
word for
history
it?
of Dragonfey, the Celestial Dragon
start with a
Emperor,
Q-
including
like
lots of little bits of
QUY?
information that you might not
Or
know, such as that it was the
KUY?
Dragon
Sorry,
Emperor
it's
who
like
shared
Q
gunpowder
is how
with
it's
the Stone
pronounced, but
Titans,
it's like
and a
KUY
long
or
story of
KYU or
friendship with
something.
the Hikara, until
I
events
feel like I know the name of it. I feel like
I
I read it in a book once because I remember getting like a mythology book from like the Chicago, like one of the big museums in Chicago. They were doing like a mythical creatures exhibit, and so there was a really cool book. Kieran, thank you. Yes, is that what it's called? I think it might be what it's called.
Sorcery, which sees the winds of magic split into two.
God, it's so
Yin
cool.
And Yang. Yang majors study control of the winds of magic.
Oh, this might be a faction I end up actually getting.
And more dangerous.
Both new magic lords, which you can take
say that
for
about,
your
like,
wizards
every faction,
inside
but
the Arcane Journal as well.
I've
This
only bought
Arcane
into
Journal is
one.
a bit
I've got my
unusual. It's not
Bretonnians.
maybe like the other Arcane Journals we've seen, as it's more of a sort of standard army list. So much like you see in the Forces of Fantasy or the Ravening Hordes books, that every
That's
single
true.
model is
Old World
coming
did get
alongside
3.
with
We
their
got
full
the
rules in here, full special
announcement of the
rules for
return of the
army,
Wood
unique
Elves, the
weapons,
return of
magic
Beastmen,
items,
and then the
everything you need to
brand
field your Grand
spanking
Cathay army in
new
a game of Warhammer the Old
Armies
World
of Grand
is in
Cathay.
this
Holy
book. If you're
shit.
going to collect an army, you need to get yourself a copy of this book as well.
yes.
But that's not the only thing. We've got one more thing to show you from this army. Take a look at this.
Oh, that's
Alex
true. They did
knows this.
briefly
This is
show this.
Liao
Oh,
Ying,
look
the
how
commander of the
freaking
armies of
cool
the
it
Great
is.
Bastion, ruler of northern Cathay from her seat of power in Nangao. So for centuries, she's fought against the servants of the Dark
Ooh, is
Gods,
this her in her dragon
hobgoblins,
form? Do we get her in
barbarians,
human
you
form
name
too?
it.
And can you
She was
transform
assigned to
her
position
in
by
like
the Celestial
mid-game?
Dragon himself, and is often considered the
Because in
amongst her
fantasy,
siblings.
in
It's the
Warhammer
power
Fantasy
she
battles,
wields
you
and
used to
duties
be able
she
to
bears.
have
And she's
lords
somewhat
on
aware
like
of it.
mounts
Forever
and then
Yeah, but
dismount,
there's a
right?
Nangao, because even when you were
Or is that more of a Lord of the Ring
politics and
thing?
Much more Lord of the
never,
Rings.
never
Okay.
escape.
Now, I'm right in thinking Mao Ying's form
Cecile,
is
I
as
agree.
a dragon.
Hit that
and,
like button if you guys
sometimes
have been
she can
enjoying the
transform
content.
herself transform
God,
herself
she's
into
so cool.
form to, I guess, less terrified.
I love
creatures.
also, I mean, I'm
What's
a sucker for
important as well,
purple.
I mean,
Okay,
look,
there's her-
beautiful
there's her-
images, isn't it? I think it's important to say as well, that model we've just
Human
seen, the dragon,
form.
Mao Ying here,
Oh, look
and
at her
all the
cool
models we've
arm.
seen
I
in
hadn't
this
noticed
entire
that when
range
they first
are
showed
all
her.
plastic,
Indeed.
which is fantastic news. So it's going to be much
God,
easier
she
to
is so
make
cool.
your miniatures.
I love
as a
how they
powerful
made her
wizard,
float.
she can transform herself
Using
from
the
dragon to a
tendrils
human
of her,
whenever she
because
wants
like those
to.
are like a very specific thing
and
that
she's a
happens in
supreme
like
matriarch up in
Chinese
Nangao,
mythology a
and
lot.
so
Like
she
the
can promote
goddesses
warriors
and
around
such
her
will
to
have
be her
those
celestial
flowing
dragon
robes,
guard,
and there will be a
making
couple of
her
like
as well.
strands
Just
of
a stunning
fabric
centerpiece
that like
model for
flow
you.
off them in lines like
that
that.
whole
And I love that they're
collection is
using
just
those
incredible.
to sort of
Intricacy,
lift her up, and that way her
detail.
foot is actually free floating.
There
And it's
we go.
really
That
really
is
cool.
Grand Cathay coming soon for Warhammer the Old World. A very exciting release. And,
Right?
yeah,
It's
you guys
such
weren't sure
a
if we were going to show you
freaking
everything.
cool-looking model.
We just have. So there we go. Exciting stuff. We've got a bit of time now to go over to Question Corner. Ed, what's the chat talking about at the moment?
Well, first off, I would like to shout out a few of the locations people talked about earlier. We've got people from all over the UK.
No one cares about this, guys.
Across the US and Canada,
I appreciate
Australia, Norway.
I appreciate
all
you,
over the
but
world.
you are not here for
I
that.
do have some old world related questions that I've got to though. How much of the release is in resin? Is a big one that we're being asked.
Well, everything we've just seen.
They briefly paused before
There we go.
answering
That's
questions
it.
about the
If there's
product
anyone
that they're
that's coming in
showing,
the
because they're
future
actually
that we
doing
haven't
this
seen, we
live,
don't know
and so
about
like
now,
chat.
we don't know.
It is, but he was like, I'm gonna take a moment to shout out where people people were
department, there's
from.
loads of different options you can put on your notes.
And I'm like,
So,
could you
there we
not?
go.
They're killing.
How cool's that?
No one freaking
Pretty cool.
cares.
They're killing time.
Next up, are those terracotta models the biggest models in Old World?
Ooh. Might be, you know.
They might
They
be.
might be.
The Sky Lantern is huge.
Yeah, the Sky Lantern stands.
I was
really
gonna say,
cool.
I was gonna say, I
That's
feel like the
brand new
Sky
base
Lantern
as
looks
well.
bigger than the
And then on a
terracotta
flying
models.
stand, and then that balloon
What do you
on
guys
top
think?
of it.
Like
So
the
it's
Sky
quite
Lantern,
cool.
like the Sky Lantern looked like this. The terracotta model looked like
This
this.
answer my next question, which was
Like the
is Sky
terracotta
Lantern
model just looked like the
purely
size of like.
the plastic parts. No, it's got
I mean, like honestly, one of the giants or something.
Final
If
question
maybe
then.
not smaller.
Who are Cathay's biggest rivals in the old world?
Ooh, they don't have a rival. Arguably, they're amongst the oldest and most powerful kingdoms in the old world.
But they particularly hate.
I just tried to pause
they
them.
absolutely
I can't.
love
I mean, I could,
Okay.
but like I'm not going
So
to.
if you wanted to have, if there was a rival,
That is a
if there was
terrible
someone that stood up
answer
anywhere near
to that question.
The Warriors of Chaos.
Am I wrong?
Fair enough.
Is
Fair enough.
they don't
Anyone
have
else
a
have any more on
rival?
the
When asked who is their
Lots
biggest
of
rival,
questions.
the
I think
worst
we need
answer
to
you
do
could
it
give.
as we go
This
along.
faction's
Fair
so
enough. In
cool,
that case, we'll,
and they're
we'll
brand
move on
new. They
to the
have
next
no rivals
segment of our
because we haven't
show,
thought about
and it's
that.
time to move on
Also,
from the
they're
old
just
world
so
and take a look at
cool
what's
and
going
so
on.
old and ancient that no one can rival them, which makes them boring. Okay, we are moving over to Killteam. Trying to tell like what it is. Architect recovery, okay. Also, I thought like Chaos was one of their big rivals. Are those eggs? No, those are just little guys. The swarm. Yeah, Ripple Swarm. Neat.
Here we go. Killteam Titan is the next
Yeah.
release coming for
I just want to see
Killteam,
the terrain. I
and
actually
it's
don't.
Extremely exciting. We have got a
Oh,
big box here
oh,
full of
oh,
loads
oh.
of miniatures and the
Okay,
much
I'm
asked for,
liking what
much
I'm seeing.
waited
I'm
for
liking the big
Killteam
spikes. I'm liking the
specific
little
Killteam is
hive.
here in the form of the Raveners.
You know,
And
Chaos
first of all,
Cultists might not
before
be
we go
wrong.
any
Maybe they
further,
are going to do
very quickly,
a Helldivers
Alex,
like
where
thing
is type and set and
for
battles?
So we are still on Valkus. We're in
for,
Hypersilius. The Grey God has fired.
Space
and when
Marine
it does
3.
fire,
Or you can do it
backdraft,
with the
sort of
Imperial
levels
Guard.
everything
Well,
a little bit.
they
And the
could,
other thing that sometimes happens is that
well, you
some
could
holes open,
play as an Imperial
and when
Guard
they
and
do
then
that,
well,
and
but
then
you do
access
that- you can do
below
that
the
in
Great
Carcass.
Gun. And so what
There you
happens
go.
is the Adeptus Mechanicus send out these teams of sacrificial servitors to go and find some
That's
of
cool.
the
Is that one new?
archaeological bits.
I don't remember that
hidden down
head,
there. But
the
when they've
fin
done
head.
so, they've awoken some Raveners.
Oh dear, you don't want to wake Raveners. That's the worst thing to do.
I feel
Because
like-
in this box we have the new Raveners Killteam. 5 miniatures in the Ravenous Killteam. You'll also notice there are some
Okay.
Hornagants in the background here too, but we'll talk about the Hornagants in just a second. But the Ravenous Killteam is 5 models, and you can make quite different versions here. You could make them onto Ravener Warriors if you wanted to, as you see in 40k, but you can also make a Prime, as much as other things we're going to go over in a second. Alex, Raveners are powerful and terrifying, right?
Indeed,
See, there you
they're
go.
powerful,
See, they
live,
could have
driven
given
by
a
an
better
all-consuming
answer
hunger.
than
Reports
nobody.
say that sometimes they can be deposited.
That
on
one
a
is new?
planet,
Okay.
burrow through
I was gonna say, he
rock,
didn't
armor,
look familiar. I do kind of
all with the
like
same
his
level
weird
of
little
ease,
fin
and
head.
They can basically hide out for years, if not decades. And that seems to be what's happened here on
I
Valkus.
do like the
As
look
you
of the
mentioned,
tier or
these
the
being built
AdMech
into
that we were
several
seeing. I
different
don't know
varieties,
again
so
if
the
any of
primes
those
and
are new
moving
because
great
I'm
for the brood and
as much as I
creatures
love the
and
AdMech, I'm
the
actually
Feltalon
not
with claws
familiar
that
with their
toxins that
model
can
line very
attract
much
the
because
venom
it's
spitted
so
at-
busy. I
as
kind
you
of
can
get them
probably guess.
confused a
It's
lot.
venom.
Makes sense.
So like the only
Reckons
ones I
is a
can really
heavy
call out
metal
are just like your
armoured
basic
version
troops and
to break through
Skitari.
into bunkers. My favourite, the Tremor Scythe. It's got a hypersensory
Is he new too?
array
He kind of
to
looks
detect
new. Oh,
vibrations
whoa,
and chemical
his
signatures
I
fear.
like their
As I
new
said,
heads.
The Rescuing Warriors.
Now, if you've ever played
I like
Space
his
Marine
head
2,
with his
you'll
little
come
horns.
across
They're
the
so
Raveners
cute.
in there, and they
yes.
burrow through the ground, and they're just so difficult to deal with. And that comes
Ooh.
through in Killteam as well.
would
They
I-
actually have a
how would
rule
I
where you
paint the
draw a
fin
tunnel as the game continues.
in my color
and
scheme?
your
Like, I'm trying to
warriors and
picture
your-
these
your
guys. I'm
Raveners
like,
can
I
just
actually
pop
really
in
like
or
them.
pop out of that tunnel.
I
as
like the way
game
that they're
continues.
doing,
Really
what's the
confusing
purple
with
and
those.
white color
If
scheme
I tell Killteam
for-
players these guys
Is it
have an
Leviathan?
APL
Is that what it is? I
of
thought
3
Leviathan
apiece.
was like red
That
and
makes them
blue.
super good.
No, you might be
And
right.
they
It might
all
be
fight twice
Leviathan.
in an activation, which is
Chat,
terrifying
tell me, is it
too.
Leviathan that's
Yeah,
the white and purple
absolutely
color scheme for
monstrous
knits?
foes.
I like
And
the way
I
that they're
think at
treating it
5
now
models, one of the
modernly.
smallest kill teams,
it's
but
just-
they
it's better
are
than what they
tough.
did before.
They are real big and tough. Lots of
Cathy's
wounds,
greatest
lots of
enemy is
APL,
themselves.
Be terrified.
There
Maybe
you go.
not quite as terrifying, but pretty cool.
They could have
as
even
well.
given that answer. I guess
The
that would have been
Battle
fun.
Clade coming alongside
don't,
them in the box set. These are an Adeptus Mechanicus.
in the
skill
lore
team, and
in
someone in
Total
the chat
War
earlier
Warhammer
on said, I'd
3,
give my soul for an Adeptus
Are there not
Mechanicus
two
skill team.
siblings in
We're gonna
Cathay
send
that are
some
kind of like
knocking on the door
warring
anytime
against each
soon.
other, which
Alex,
would actually
tell
give
us
them the
about,
whole themselves
some of these
answer
guys.
is actually
These are led by
legitimate?
techno-archaeologists
Leviathan
who
is
specialise
white
in
and
hunting
purple?
down
Okay, cool.
arcana and exotic resources.
Oh, these guys look
Alongside
sick.
them,
Oh, the
they've got
servitors. I like
Underseers
because aren't those just servitors? Those are cool.
Basically, these guys specialize in reprogramming
he's-
and controlling services, translating the mission into complex
That makes
subroutines
sense.
suitable
That makes
for their
sense.
charges. but they can be
like
bit
a battle
enthusiastic
servitor.
about the
Like,
acquisition
like,
of more
like
servitors.
that comes
If
with
you
me
do
to my
have
battles,
one
and
of
Rogue
these guys
Trader
straight by,
does absolutely
you can
nothing.
steal them. So alongside them, you've got a
He
whole
never
host
gets
of
close
various
enough to
servitors. You
battle
can
because
have
he's so
gutter servitors
slow.
with
His
service
movement's like
stabilizers, and even
so
medics,
slow.
which is a
So he
rare
never gets
win
close
for
enough.
even the fleshy parts of servitors.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad
because
for him.
you
He's just
are
always
on
by
a
the
mission
entrance when I
far from the
finish.
forge. You know, sometimes needs must.
Needs must, right? Absolutely right. What's quite cool on the table?
Oh, there's
these guys
5
have a rule called
siblings
the
and there's
Loose Stroke
3.
network where they can transfer.
Oh,
power
okay.
from one
Is it
server
that?
to
Is it
another.
like
One
I knew
can
there
be shut
were
down, transfer
siblings. I
one
couldn't remember
to
how
another,
many
which is
there
really
were.
good
I'm
fun.
assuming it's something
Different
of
services have different
three
rules. We've got the
kingdoms.
breacher servitors. Who can
Honestly,
lock
that-
holes
well,
from walls, and the
I think
gun
you're right,
services,
actually,
combat services
'cause,
carry a huge
Olagas is
array
saying
of
that in
exotic
Total War
weaponry,
Warhammer 3, there's
including
only
a heavy
3
arc
technically of the
rifle,
siblings,
incendiary
like,
igniters and
like
phosphor
I think
blasters,
playable
which
in the
all sound
game.
terrifying.
Which
Great
would
fun.
make like
Now,
which would
coming
kind of give you the
alongside
3
those two
kingdoms-ish
Killteams in the
vibe.
box is the dossier, of course, which is where you would find the full
The
rules
dark
for
blue
both
and
the
black
Killteams.
and
It
red
also
is
has really
Behemoth.
loads,
Okay.
loads of extra stuff in there as well. You see all the tokens and things, the cards that come in the box.
Behemoth.
Inside the dossier, you'll find the Joint Ops and Adversary Ops mission
That poor
packs in here
servitor.
as well. The Joint Ops is really good fun. That's where the Hormigants and the Rippers that you get in the box that come into play as well, because there is a tree campaign for playing through the narrative of the Tyranid invasion on High
Oh, that's kind of cool.
and the Hormigants are
I like
your
that. I like when
NPA
they add
and their
campaigns,
operatives
like
that
mini
you get in there,
campaigns into
with
the
full
box
base
sets,
cards and rules
so that
for
if you
those
just
to
get that
fight
and that's all
against
you
with your
do,
friends,
you have
which is
like
quite good fun.
both
But
competitive
also
games that you can
people
play
have
with
noticed,
it
we showed
and
up
a
on
narrative
Warhammer
thing that
a
you
while
can play
ago.
with it,
The
depending on how
Terran
you want to do.
infestation terrain
Yes, I love this
builder
terrain.
upgrades. Tell me what we've got here.
So you get spore chimneys, capillary towers, gestation sacks, swords,
Gestation sacks!
mounds, capillary roots, spore vents, and brood nests. There's a lot. Chimneys and vents.
Dude, it
pump
looks
out spores,
sick. I
capillary
actually
towers
really
act as
like it.
Conduits, so when the Hive fleet arrives, that's.
I hope they
where
do a
basically gonna
separate,
get all the biomass
like
of
sold
it from.
separately.
And
Here's
gestation
just the
sacks,
Tyranid terrain.
You can probably guess.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's such great.
Although,
terrain
that
and a
being
really
said,
nice
we
way
did
of
see
really
literally
adding a lot
earlier
of
today
flavour
on
to
this
your
stream.
kill
Oh,
zone.
they look so good.
And in standard games, they
Some
provide
very
light
cool
cover or
3D
heavy
printable
cover, as you might
Tyranid terrain.
expect.
Or
But actually, in the joint
Tyranid-inspired
missions,
terrain.
they're also used as
I can't call it
objective
that, of
markers
course.
for you to investigate or destroy.
Dude, I
or
really like
spawn
these. These are
points for
cool.
Tyranid reinforcements to come out of, which is terrifying as well. It's just a beautiful set of terrain, and it's really nice to see some sort of classic Tyranid terrain from yesteryear made into a plastic set for your battlefield as well. Tyranid players all over the place. You want to get your claws on these. So there we go. That is Killteam Typhon coming very soon. Got a little bit of time for some questions again from the chat. Ed, anything else we want to fire our way?
Well, obviously, the big one is for both kill teams. Are we going to see rules for them in 40k?
So right now, of course, we do have rules for Raveners in the Tyranid Codex already, which you can use these models to represent. Are we going to see full rules for both kill teams in their entirety? Well, we're not sure yet, but keep your eyes on Warhammer Community, and there may well be more news coming on those soon. Yeah, watch Warhammer Community for that one, I reckon.
I can believe that, Robert.
Anything else, Ed?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of questions about the Imperial Knights Codex and Chaos Knights Codex. Just keep watching. Obviously, when we get to 40k, we'll cover those. Is this part of a High Fleet Typhon offensive in the lore?
Ooh, so as I mentioned before, basically the Raveners could be deposited on a planet well ahead of the Hive Fleet. And could
That's
stay there for
usually
years,
the.
if
I
not
feel like whenever
decades.
they do these
So
reveals,
it
like
could
these
be a
products
precursor
come
to
out
an
between like
invasion,
2 to 3 months,
but
or
it also might have been
in the
a little
future,
off
depending on
site,
like what it
so
is.
We don't yet know.
Fingers crossed.
Like I'm
it's not a full
kind
invasion,
of
right, for the
curious
sake of the Imperium.
when.
Fingers crossed it is a full invasion.
You stay on
Okay,
your
so
side,
the
sir.
Wood Elves and the
Anything else,
Beastmen
Ed,
are
you
going to be
wanna
easy
do?
enough
final
for
thing
them to
about
reprint
this
because that's
property,
literally
what I've had
like.
for quite some time. In terms of build options,
They've already
we'll
have
see
the
just now
sculpts and
full
everything for
normal
that, right? They can
Raveners,
just
with the
order
ability to
them
build
and or
more
pull them
of
from the warehouse and
each
start
one.
selling them and just
Yeah.
put them in new boxes.
So
So
basically, the
I feel
kit
like that's
you can
fairly
build,
easy.
you could
Cathay's
build-
brand new
build all
models,
5
so
Raveners
I'm
on a
assuming
Ravener
that's going to be
Warrior,
in the
which is
summer.
essentially the Ravener you can see,
Or I guess
in the
late
sort of Ravener
spring,
squad
maybe,
in the
like
Warhammer
May.
40,000 game. There's also full rules for Ravener Warriors in Killteam.
Yeah,
too,
like
so if
May
you want to
seems
build
likely
5
for
Ravener
a release
Warriors,
for some of
you
this
could use
this
that as your
product.
Killteam, no
Could
problem
be
at all. As
could be
for the
like
other
late
options,
April
you get
maybe.
enough bits to build
I guess
one
it just
of each.
depends
So
on
one
like
prime, one wrecker,
where they're
one-
at with
yeah,
certain
I
things.
forgot
Like
the names of them. One of each of the other ones you can build.
I
there
don't
as well.
remember. Was
So not
Empire
much
the last thing they announced for Old World?
For now.
Or am I like missing
In that
something?
case, it's time to move on.
It
I
has
think.
that because I think that came out, right?
Heading to the mortal realms.
There we go.
To the mortal realms.
Battles in Shaiish, the realm of death, with the new Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead gaming pack, Sand and Bone.
Okay. So we have a new like Spearhead starter set.
Lead your forces to victory in fun, fast-paced games using streamlined rules. Each Spearhead box contains all the miniatures you need to take command of a balanced and thematic army, with rules and updates available to download for free online. Obliterate your foes from a distance, impose a grisly tithe on them, devour them whole through gluttony, or shred them with cold-blooded savagery. The choice
Interesting.
Is
Oh, I see.
New spearheads. March forth into the
a new
realm
Seraphon
of death
spearhead.
and prepare for battle with spearhead, sand, and bone.
Cool. So 4 new spearheads coming out, all for like I guess
Very
Sand and
exciting.
Bone, which is the
So
new
this is Spearhead
edition,
Sand and
or
Bone. This is basically the new expansion for Spearhead.
Or, yeah,
with a
expansion.
full load of new and exciting additions. You find
Yeah, the terrain is so good, right?
Double death.
You love this, don't you?
Yes, so you've got Ossia and Delorum. Basically, you've got 2 sides of that board. With a whole
You could
new
probably
set of
easily
scenery.
convert that
Now,
into
I'm
your,
going to say, you've got the
High Fleet
Necropolis
Hydra
Blood,
color
Delusion,
tone.
Grief and Night.
Ooh, I like the
more
terrain
types
for
of
these
Lord,
with the with those
and they
the
basically reflect
fences.
sites of ancient
Oh, and
towers,
that
dread temples,
is that a
those new
coffin?
types, but they're not set out in the same.
Oh, I
way
like
that
the
we've seen
statue
before.
too. Ooh,
No,
that's
you're
so
right.
cool.
There's a nice little variation between the Fire and Jade, the previous games as well, to give you really good variation on your games, depending on which realm you fight in. You'll also notice that on this board in
I
front
might
of us, the
have
green
to
one
get
here,
this.
you've got
I
one
enjoy
huge
Spearhead,
objective
and I
in the middle
need
with the other
to.
4
I
small
want to
ones
play
around
against
it, which
Meg
makes that central one super important
at some
side to
point.
play
I
on.
want to have a
And if you look on
rematch
the
against
top left of the
Chaos
purple board there,
Cultist.
that one's only got
And the
4
fact that they're coming out
objectives
with
on
a
it, but 2 of them
brand
are
new
super close in the center of the board.
Seraphon
There's gonna be a big
Spearhead
old
is
stack
kind of
there as
interesting
well.
to me.
Both boards really sort of
Not that I
want you
dislike
to
the one
get
I
into the
currently
action
have. I love
fight,
it, but like I'm
which
kind
is
of curious
great
what the
fun.
difference
And
is.
we also noticed on the screen as well.
Yeah, I know.
We've
It
got
was like
some
they
new
have
terrain
2
features
already.
as
I
well. This is
thought
the new mystical terrain that's being added.
they also have an
which can
OCR
either
Bone
be,
Reaper one, and then I
set
can't remember
up
what
on
the other
board at
2
the start
were.
of the
They'll
game,
probably show them
or
again.
maybe brought in through one of the twists in the game as well. We've got the
Hello,
Crypt
Sean.
of Blood,
Welcome to the
where your
stream.
fighters can take an unholy draft and try and best their foes at combat, but at what cost? And the Icon of New Lamia.
Oh, you
which
guys
is
got the
statue
Scaventide
there,
boxes at
which
Adepticon if you
can,
had the
sort of
VIP
call upon the
badge.
veiled
That's
promises
cool.
of the icon.
That is
And
sick.
maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't. Bit of a big.
I
list
really
there.
hope
There's
maybe
some
next year I can
cool
go to
options
Adepticon.
in here as well as new updated battle tactics and commands and twists and everything. to
I think
really
we
make you
have
feel
the
like you're
potential
playing
for a
Realm of
little bit more
Death.
flexibility
it's a very
with
different
that
experience to Spearhead as it is right now.
currently.
Great
So
fun,
it's
definitely
something that I
stay
want to
hands-on.
talk with Chaos
But
Cultists about.
alongside this box set, we've also got some new spearheads coming as
I
well.
will admit I'm having like real bad
So the first one we're going to have a
FOMO.
look
I
at
have
is
been
the
avoiding
Ogre Maw Tribe's Scrap
social
Card.
media because I'm like I don't want to look at
Basically,
people
you're
are
gonna
doing because I'm
have,
not
your hunter
there
in the
doing
center
it.
with a bunch of knob
No, it's fine.
background, as well as those 8 iron guts.
It's absolutely
They
fine,
pack
genuinely.
an absolute punch, don't they?
They really do. They really do. They're terrifying. Don't get anywhere near them.
Honestly, the,
a really
Ogres is actually a
hitty
cool-
spearhead. That one there. We've
So,
also
look,
got
the
the
Ogre head
Seraphon
spearhead.
Summed Up
Oh, yeah.
powers as
Oh,
well.
God, boys.
This is the
Seraphon
new
fans, who are these guys?
Indeed.
Skinks.
these
It's got the
basically have
chameleon
hunters
skinks.
one
Oh,
feet.
it's gonna be
They're able
nasty.
to scoot forward.
Oh,
and then
that's
you
so
big
fun.
boys.
Oh, whoa,
warriors,
what is that
full
lizard? I
legs,
don't recognize that
assembly.
one. This like big
terrifying in
finned
combat.
dude.
That's an old one.
Hunters
Is it?
fight
Okay.
goes
Not-
and
not-
you can
not
run
the
down
unit-
your
an old
battle
one, but I believe
tactics.
that's an old
But
one.
if you don't
He
fancy
has
being
the
quite so
things like,
mobile, you
like
could instead go
that-
Cities of
that,
Sigmar, use
uh,
your platoon and just
No,
shoot people
no,
off the
the,
table with all your guns and your crossbows.
Indeed, there are mobile
I think
gunnery
that Jurassic
brigades.
Park-
that
Oh,
can
No.
look at them. Look at the mob
Aren't they
boys.
great?
up the board, and then you've got those.
No, what are
2
those?
units
Those
of rebuild
amphibious? It's not
fusiliers that
amphibious. I
basically
think it's
form
maybe it's
an
amphibious. It starts with an
They're
A.
definitely they're even
They.
better. They get better on their
Armadillo.
saves.
Mudkip is one of them.
Of course, you won't score many battle tactics by doing
Oh,
that. But
No,
tell you
what
if
is
you
the
want to go for a
creature?
smaller, more elite force, take a look at the
Never
Ossiarch
mind.
Bone with
Starter.
mortars.
No,
out of
just
elite.
stop.
It's
You're-
just
you're
9
wrong.
models, but
You're
what
just- you're
models
wrong.
they are.
Oh yeah, when we talk about
Hold on.
Ossiarch,
Sea,
thinking about
water
rank after
animal
rank of formidable troops, but the mortars
with
of the order of Ossifactors will
fins
assemble
on
these
head.
kind of cohorts when they want to improve their
Axolotl.
spine shaping. style.
Yes, thank you, an
As I said,
axolotl.
it's a highly elite force.
Yeah, there's not a model there that hasn't
That
got
is
at
not-
least
I did not-
4, and most of them have a 3+ save as
It
well.
gave me
so these guys
anglerfish.
are tough.
No, then
Not
again,
many
then
of
it gave
them,
me
so good
axolotl.
luck trying
Yeah,
to
it
score
looked like an
battle tactics,
axolotl.
with those
fins.
guys, because you're going to have to really think about how you do it.
Yes,
I
Commander
think you might have to with the
Cheapskate.
Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Now that's not all there is. For
Okay,
the Age
your
of
name has
Sigmar.
skate
You've
in it,
got
which made me
Spear
think. Have you
and
guys
Gyro.
checked out
This is
the
an
new
exciting
the
new
re-release of
seasonal
Tony
event,
Hawk
building
1 and
up to
2?
the launch of the General's
On I
Handbook
think it's on
console.
like
Oh, that one's been out for a
PlayStation.
while.
Run
yeah.
up to that release.
Oh, has that one been out for a
There's
while?
Yeah,
daily
they just
articles
announced
of
3 and
Warhammer
4.
community.
Oh, is that what it
French
was?
wasn't due on sale, that's why I picked it up.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
These could be regiments of renown,
Well,
battle formations,
I was watching Chaos Cultist play 1 and 2, and I was like, oh man, this is so cool. I never played those games when I was a kid. But I know a lot of people did.
Right,
I'm kind
and
of
they're
curious
also
how
they're
many
going
of
to
you
be
guys
match
did.
play legal from the release.
It kind of looks like a fire lizard with like, in regards to his color scheme, but it was definitely had the axolotl like,
we see that
or axolotl.
Arrive. It's that time of year. Here it is. And
like
the difference
coral
here with
looking.
the General's Handbook this time round is rather than
Whiskers?
just being a book,
What
it's
are those
actually a
called
complete box
on
inside
them,
which is your
actually?
72-page book.
Frills?
You've got your battle plan and battle tactics cards.
Are they?
There's
Wait, they're
manifestation
external
and
gills?
War scroll
frills.
cards as well. We've got the 6 objective markers in there too. It's a complete product for the
Oh, are they
Warhammer
just called
Sigmar
frills,
General
really?
if you
Okay.
want to get your hands on. Tell me where we are for this season.
So this is War in the Jade Realm. Garan is sometimes considered sort of a place of abundance with Hammer
they
Hawkeye,
regenerate their
Sigmar's
limbs.
domain.
That's cool.
However, the realm of life is rife with disease, hellish mires, mercurial forest spirits,
Tony Hawk's
monstrous
ruining
insects,
PlayStations for
rapidly changing
generations.
seasons. No heresy.
That sounds awful.
Let's
Sounds like
look
a
at the
perfect place
description.
to have your battles of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Now, in terms of how the rules are going to change for this season, well, we're not going to tell you too much right now.
No, they are
We're
their
gonna ask
guilds.
you
They're
to go back to
external
the One
guilds.
Community website. In the
Cool, I
future,
didn't know
there'll be
that,
some
but I know
hints
they're
here and
also- I
there,
thought they were
and
also
some build-up
called
posts for
frills. They
episodes.
might
Find out
be.
what's in
They
the
might
General's
be.
Handbook. Keep your eyes on the One Community website and definitely sign up to that newsletter as well. With that done, it's time to take a few more questions from the chat. Ed, what are folks saying out there in the world of Chatland?
Okay, I've combined a couple into one here, which is Fire and Jade still going to be supported, and will old Spearhead boxes still be allowed to play in the new Spearhead rules?
100% yes to both. So Fire and Jade is absolutely going to still be available. You can download the rules for free on
Makes
Warhammer
sense.
Community already. You can get the rules. In
You're
the
right,
Ultimate
they are
Starter
guilds.
set as well for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Will your old Spearhead
I
still be
looked it up.
usable? Yep, absolutely no problem at all. It's an expansion to the game. It's not a replacement. So you can use whatever you like to.
I don't want to cut off their
More ways to
arm.
play
I just didn't know that they could regrow their limbs. I didn't realize that they were like geckos and could like regrow tails or whatever. That's cool.
A unit rather than a single character. How does that work?
Hello, Ball. It is lovely to see you in chat. I'm not going to try to say your full name. It is too long, and I will.
Being led by units.
I will butcher the first portion of it. So I'm gonna just call you Ball.
Snarl Boss on his on his Snarl Fang. We've also now got the Sunblood pack leading the Seraphon, and the Man Trappers leading the ogres as well. Some of them work in a different way. So the ogres sort of is a hunter.
I actually
with
really
tokens
like all
around
of
him,
the
with
four
models representing tokens
spearheads
and
that
things
they
like
showed
that.
us. I actually
Whereas
think they're all
the
pretty
Sunblood
cool
pack,
looking.
the Saurus are actually 3 different models. Now, they actually only have 3 health apiece, so together they make up a 9 health unit, but they're still pretty tough. Yeah, that's how they work. It's actually
Pretty
really
good
nice to see
preview,
other big
actually.
Warhammer
We got
Underworlds fans.
3
It's really nice to
reveals
see
for
some
Old
Warhammer
World.
Underworlds warbands being
Pretty
brought out
fun reveal
and
for
used in
Kill
Age of
Team
Sigmar in
with
different
some
ways as
cool
well,
new
so
Tyranid
it's just really
terrain,
nice.
as well as some new Tyranid models and new Mechanicus
Anything else,
models.
Ed?
We've
Or
got
at least
a lot of
like
40K questions still coming through.
a cool
well,
Mechanicus
well,
like group. Wasn't sure of how many of them were actually new.
4K later
Did
on.
you guys say?
But before we do, there's more stuff coming in the future for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So let's take a look ahead at what's coming.
Okay, no,
in
I
the
don't think I don't see you guys call it out or not.
Coming now, we've got
Oh,
the
and
Soul
now?
Blight Gravelords, followed on by that Spearhead expansion, Sand and Bone, and then the General's Handbook.
Is that a
Taking
Soul
look
Blight
bit further
Gravelord?
forwards into the future, we have the Ideneth Deepkin and Nighthaunt are going to be up very soon with the Blades of Khorne
Okay.
and the Kaldron Overlords floating our
Hey, it's
way
the guys
as
that I'm
well.
not like overly fond of.
Further into the future, ooh, I wonder what that could be.
That could be one of. I got at least 3 things in my mind, but I tell you what, guys, if you're out there, if you've got an idea of what that could be, let us know in the chat, and we'll see what you think. That's a good one, actually. That could be. I've got at least 2 in my mind. It could definitely be.
Daughters of Cain,
right,
maybe?
with that done,
What would have that kind of
let's
bat
take a
wing?
move forwards into the
With a big
41st
spike on it
millennium.
like that.
And boy, have we got a lot of things to show you for Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Let's
Daughters of
start off
Cain
then
maybe
with
is what
the
that could
chapter
be.
approved deck. It's that season. We've seen the General's Handbook already.
Maybe
It's time
Vampire,
for
but
the
I feel
chapter
like
approved
Soul Blight
deck,
Gravelords are already
25
getting an
to
update.
2025, sorry, to
And I don't think they would do
2026.
Flesh Eater
Now,
Courts.
This season,
Maybe, I
we're
guess
going
I could
to
do
new
Flesh
deck,
Eater
which
Court.
functionally works the same as the current chapter approved deck, but with updates to missions, objectives.
I know,
and
it's
formats.
interesting,
So
right? Like all
we're
those
really looking
servitors.
forward to get
But to be
Crucial here,
fair,
it actually includes
having played
missions,
Rogue Trader, the
specifically
servitors are
missions
very
for
tanky.
incursion
So
games,
there is a
for
chance
1,000
that
point games
like
with unique
they could
deployments
just
and updated
overpower the
muster rules for smaller
Tyranids by
games. For
sheer
example,
will.
There's a rule of 2 for 1,000 point games with up to 4 battle lines. instead.
Yes, we're finally
That's
gonna get
quite
to
fun.
see
We've
the
also seen the Space Olympic
official
asymmetric
reveal
rule
of
as
the
well.
leaked
Another
Space
new
Wolves.
format which we've introduced for the
I can't believe they messed
where
that
attacker
up.
and defender have different deployment zones and different aims within the game. game. So it's a much more unpredictable experience.
Ooh, that would
designed for 2,000 points and above.
Oh yeah, you're right. They
just
did appear in
we've got challenger cards.
Old World, I guess, wasn't it? So yeah, Chaos Swords coming into Sigmar would be cool, but like again, I thought their whole point was that they didn't want to mix
and these new cards
match
provide
them.
a stratagem and a mission. Players can choose to complete the mission or use the stratagem, but not both. So similar mechanic to Spearhead if you guys have ever played that before. So nice little way of getting that player back into the game. And crucially here, this deck is designed to have lots of
I didn't get a
different
full
ways
good look at
to
it. Maybe
play
they'll
one
show it
foot
one more
match
time.
play to give you real replayability in your games and to make your games much more exciting and fun when you play them. So there's lots.
Oh, that's fair.
You don't keep.
We didn't see it on like I didn't have it up on this, so I don't like. I don't know exactly what it was that got leaked.
However,
or showed or whatever.
There's so much coming.
We've also got the World Eaters.
Here we go.
Yay, World Eaters!
The Gorestorm Slaughterpack Battle Force, including a whole host of 8-bound jackals, as well as the Slaughterbound, that brand new
all those
hero.
teeth.
So this guy, where 8-bound has sort of 8 demons trapped within him, is basically taken on a bloodthirster that's given him exceptional strength. Along with them, they've got their brand new codex, and within that is obviously going to be all of your rules and background for the 12th Legion, the Scalathrax, all the warbands and characters, as well as the Red Angel's Gate, where Angron first manifested on Armageddon.
You're absolutely right. We've got a Slaughterbound. This is the new hero who's going to be coming into play for the World Eaters. A monstrous hero who can lead 8-bound or exalted 8-bound into battle and is so angry, Alex, that he rages at them and returns slain models to life, which is terrifying.
Oh, that's cool. Brings guys back from the dead.
The
Sick.
Codex is coming as well, of course, and
with their range
detachments. You can include Cornate demons in your army, much like the Emperor's Children.
They really are. You're not wrong. They are trying to complete the chaos as soon as possible.
Where you can use an enhancement to have a Lord on a Juggernaut leading Blood Crushers and Fleshhounds as a unit, which is just great fun. And there we get. You know what? Talking.
I think I saw that rumor.
Well, we've got
engine
something
image.
to say.
Very
and
cool.
It's over to Ed in Apology Corner.
Yeah, so Karanak should be in the Codex Demons Index. He's not, and we know that everyone wants it, so have no fear. He will be back when the World Eaters Codex comes out. Be both in that and also in an updated index at the same time.
So cute.
There we go. Good news for all you Corn Demon fans. Our apologies, guys. We're going to fix that mistake when that book drops. So thanks for that patience on that one. But right, keeping on the Chaos theme, what else is coming?
Indeed. We're going to see the Death Guard. So the Death Guard, likewise, have the Pox-wrought Vector Battle Force with a Fetid Blight Drone, Lord of Poxes, Plague Burst Crawler, Blight Lord Terminators, Plague Marines, a whole host of disease.
Honestly, if you're getting into Death Guard for the first time, not a bad thing to pick up.
Masters of airborne contagion, constantly pumping out a foul, fetid smog with that miasmic turbine on his back.
He's cool. I don't have that model.
Near advance and as a weapon.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh, it's so cool.
He basically doesn't let enemies too far away from him see him at all. That gigantic sword on his back is a great
I don't need the
blade.
tanks. I don't need the
Let me tell you, when I tell you, it's one of the most powerful combat weapons in 40k.
I don't need
Again, the Codex includes
Marines
lots of
or
attachments.
Terminators.
You can have Nurgle demons in the book. 6 attachments in there, including one that's very demons heavy and one that lets you have an unending horde of Poxwalkers, just as you'd hope to see.
Oh my god, yes,
cool.
that's so
And you know what? Let's round off.
I always wanted an unending horde of Poxwalkers.
Chaos.
60,
We've
like
got
7.
1,000 suns.
I know.
Yes. So we've also got the Warpflame Thrallband Battle Force with a bunch of sorcerers, Scarab Occult Terminators.
I have no idea, but they're 1,000 suns.
Marines, and you can see there at the front those.
What the hell are those?
So these are mechanical constructs with features of ancient prospering spirits or tutelary demonic servants, and they're saturated in sorcerous power.
Oh, he said the word, but you asked the question so loud I didn't hear it. Filter will say it again.
Psychically controlled bodyguards. They're threaded through with spells of prophecy, so they can essentially foresee attacks on their master, able to jump in.
They're like bodyguards for the sorcerers.
You're able to foresee where the enemy's going to be as well, which allows this unit to use the Overwatch stratagem for free, which is terrifying, especially when they can be armed with heavy warp flamers, as well as missile racks and melter guns. These things are terrifyingly tough. They actually count as vehicles as well.
Pure rage, not telling it. That's how he gets the sword off his back, with pure rage.
So you can
as
have
is
a
the
robot heavy
Corn
force
way.
if you want to. Great fun. Of course, Zinch demons are in the Codex as well, as you'd expect from these books at this point.
I love the look of
and
this
in the Crusade
1,000
section, you can
force.
plot and scheme with the great cult in Crusade as well. And talking of the Codexes.
Is that actually Armin in the background, or is it just a normal sorcerer?
Absolutely beautiful
I think it's just a normal sorcerer. I don't think it doesn't quite look like Armin.
The same with
Does it look
the
like a
three
punk,
other
bitch?
as well. Of course,
No.
on screen you see the world eaters. We've got the Death Guard and Thousand Suns coming too. These
What
books
in
are
Power Ranger
absolutely
Zords is
incredible.
this? I kind of like it though.
Absolutely chock full of
Oh, I love. Okay, that broken. Oh, that's sick. I love that. You can't see it.
Cool on screen.
Not
There
gonna
you
make me.
Not want it more. I
physically,
know.
they're much
I
better.
love the
Right.
crack
You
in
managed to get your
the
hands on them, haven't you?
binding for
Well,
that
yeah, I'm
book.
gonna
Like,
point
oh,
it out.
What the hell is that?
it's a book. They put the book. It's a no.
So we've got
It's gonna
a
be
beautiful
impossible to
slipcase
buy.
that comes
I
apart.
love it. It's so
Nice,
cool.
almost torn cover.
Always is.
Got 3 parts to each book.
What the hell was that
We've
slow
got the codex.
Oh, they
itself,
have
which
one.
has
Oh my
got
God, they have one
pages,
for the Death Guard
some really
and
nice
Thousand
artwork
Suns too.
in each piece as well. So every book's going to come with 5
fuck
pieces
you
of
guys.
relevant themed artwork.
GW. I mean, this is
Well,
amazing, but like, it's
those
gonna
are
be
gorgeous.
scalped
Have a
so
look at them
hard.
yourself.
Great, thanks.
And then we obviously have a large slipcase with.
Oh, with coins! Ah, it's gonna be scalped so hard!
We've got our metal tokens for objective markers. And
so
finally,
hard.
with this really nice solid metal medallion that we can make. And they all magnetize.
Oh
together.
my God.
Whoa.
No,
They're
God.
so weighty in hand. I feel like
There's a
only
piece
this
in
is the
each
objective
one
marker.
that magnetizes together to form a full
help feeling
fucking
that
medallion
completing
of the
the
4
quadrant
Chaos
of
Gods,
the
and it looks
medallions
so
live
cool.
in studio
I
for
want it
summon
so
something.
bad.
Feel
Yeah,
like
I'm
a
never
bit
gonna
power
get
coursing
it.
through me somehow. Maybe it's the adrenaline for getting my hands on the
Those are absolutely
Stop.
stunning. There's going to be a very
Show me-
limited
yes,
edition.
my
There
boy.
will be only 1,600 copies of each available.
100
when they go on
copies?
release. So if you want one of those, or even all 4 of those, make sure you get one as soon as you possibly can, because I reckon they'll be hot.
Did they say 100 copies of each one, or was it 400?
That's the limited edition Chaos Codex is coming very soon. But I've had enough of talking about Chaos Filth. We've got some other cool stuff coming. It's time to go a little bit Imperium. As the Grey Knights
it makes me so
are
sad.
seeing their update here too, Alex. What have we got here?
Grey
So
Knights.
this is the Sanctic Conclave Battle Force with the Grandmaster and Nemesis Dreadnought.
Cool, new,
with units of,
Grey Knight
Brotherhood
Battle Force.
Terminators and Strike Squads.
Oh,
So they're
1,600
also
copies.
getting,
Okay, that
codex,
is significantly more than
chock full of all
100.
the background.
Good.
The Grey Knights
They'll
are
still
basically
all be scalped.
Super anti-demonic forces with their armor
So
threaded
sad.
through with psychoactive circuitry.
Yes, I
and
agree. A
Dreadnoughts
pox
in
upon the
particular
House
to
of
combat the most
Scalpers.
horrific monsters.
May
Namely,
Grandfather
Rates of
Nurgle
Demon
pox you.
Scalpers. This is a
Many a
update
fold.
to the Dreadnought kit.
It is indeed. We've had the rules for a Grandmaster in a Dreadnought for a little while, but now we've actually got a full kit to represent the most heroic heroes of the Grey Knights in a Dreadnought, ready to fight those great demons, with weapon upgrades
the baby
including
carrier.
the Subliminator, the huge Psychic Melter, and a Nemesis Mace, which is what this thing has in common, massive Psychic Blunt Force Trauma, which can destroy enemies. There's also a Nemesis Flail, which is sort of like a Morning Star version as well, which is coming here as well. So we've got new weapons.
Is it me or are these models
from
very
that guy,
dusty?
And a great new addition kit. It's basically like the Nemesis Dreadnought.
They were doing
kit with
close-ups
upgrades
on
for
the-
to make it into a Grey Knight Grandmaster.
The
which is just
Grandmaster,
cool.
and
In
like
terms
a couple of his
codex,
weapons had fibers on them,
Grey
and I
Knight
was
players
like,
can expect
wow,
to see,
he looks very
rules
dusty.
like Gate of Infinity
They're
still
old.
there, slightly
Those
tweaked.
things need a
We've
long
got 5
time ago.
That's
detachments
entirely
in there
possible.
covering
Maybe they
lots of
are. Maybe
different
they're-
army
maybe they just
styles,
are
including the
legitimately
Spearhead,
dusty.
which covers vehicles and walkers, so you can have an army of Dreadnoughts.
Oh,
and
yeah, no,
Dreadnoughts if you
he
want to,
wears a
which is
big
great. And in
armored power
Crusade, you can
suit.
stave off Chaos Incursions with the aid of vision
Make himself
sent to you
feel
by the
big.
prognosticators, which is cool. I like the sound of that.
Now, speaking of prognosticators,
Yeah.
the Grey Knights have foreseen an invasion of a world that has previously been invaded by the World Eaters.
Of course. This is the new Crusade book, Armageddon.
Yes.
And Armageddon is a war zone.
God,
that
we're
will
going
be
back to
familiar
Armageddon.
many veteran Warhammer players. Alex, why is Armageddon such a big deal?
Well, it's been the site of many horrific invasions. Now, the world stands directly in the path of one of the Blood Crusades. It's splintered on Orkel territories in Golgotha. However, they've descended to plague the whole sector. Now, the amount of blood that has been spilt has basically fed the Red Angel's Gate, where Angron first emerged into Armageddon, and as such, the Conqueror has heeded the call.
Yeah,
and
that's
arrived.
exactly why.
So
He's
the World
dusty
Eaters
because he
have
doesn't get off
descended to
title much.
Armageddon itself, but they're faced with regiments of the Death Corps.
Oh my
local
gosh, a
Space
tornado
Wolves,
knocked out
and
your
Templars,
power? Oh my god. I'm glad it's back.
The Grey Knights who have foreseen.
I hope it's back.
This is so cool. What a great way to kick off a new Warzone. And this actual book itself is a crusade.
A new Warzone? Guys, it's not new. We've been there like how many times?
Where are we going?
Armageddon!
Enhancements.
Again! For like the 4th time!
It's really cool way.
How many times have we been to Armageddon? Like at least 3, right? And I'm not kidding about
the 4th War
you
of
can either choose to
Armageddon.
defend Armageddon, to attack Armageddon, or perhaps be one of the third.
It's just like when they return to Cadia. It's like, guys, could you please move on?
Maybe you'll decide later on. And there's a tree campaign inside the book for all those 3 factions as they sort of take the battle to the enemy over the course of Armageddon.
Yeah, but they returned to it for, remember, like they
Crusade
brought
there. There's a focus on epic heroes, mighty
yes,
thieves,
also I think they did
fighting
have a Crusade book
hellscapes
like
as
a few
the
months ago.
barriers
That's
between
the
warp and
problem. It's the reason
just
I don't like.
merge,
I
and
specifically
what's really
avoid
cool as well is
the
there's lots of
books
unbound demons flocking to your
simply
game
because
as
there's
sort of
too many. The
non-fair,
rules are so
characters sort of
inconsistent.
running
They get
in and just
updated or
taking
like
both
invalidated
sides,
so
and just causing
frequently
complete havoc as
that
they're
like
being
outside of
taken
like
on Armageddon,
my
which is just
codex,
great. So, yeah,
which I tend
seriously,
to like to have a
Armageddon
physical
Crusade,
copy
coming
of
very
just
soon.
for like.
Hey, do you know what? Armageddon does sound pretty
It just
cool.
feels nice to have a physical
sounds
copy of
pretty
it, but I don't actually use it. I just use the app because, oh my god, I can't believe we're fucking going back to Armageddon.
An imperial linchpin plagued by invasion and
we were on Armageddon when I fracking started in this game.
Now the Blood God's followers swarm across the planet's ravaged surface.
Go to a different planet!
On the brink of annihilation, the world's defenders issue.
God, it really is. It is like magic. Return to the return to the return to the return of Ravnica.
Answer their call.
Return to Ravnica, but have you returned?
Oh, look, there they are! Space Wolves!
Yeah, Space Wolves
Yeah,
are here.
he's cool.
Those are my brethren. If you don't watch our Rogue Trader Let's Play, you probably don't know why I'm speaking like the Swedish chef. But that's okay. For the Space Wolves are the greatest. All praise the All-Father, yeah.
That's better.
If you don't watch the Rogue Trader, that's
None of that made sense to you, but
that's the Space Wolf voice.
The demonic tide.
So it's Space Wolves against all 4 Chaos Legions?
That's fitting.
What a bunch of
Are they gonna blow up Armageddon now?
Please just do so we can stop going
Will
there.
have noticed a whole new raft of
Don't call it an Armageddon count. Now I'm just
Space Wolves are
imagining the
here.
planet with
They're
giant
wonderful all the
udders.
time.
Chaos
and
gods are
it's
coming
great to
over.
see a
One god's
fantastic
hand
new
on
range of
each
minions
udder, and they're
coming
each
your way
milking
for the
it.
Space Wolves.
And-
Let's take a look because I mean, look at
Oh my
these.
god, they are
It's just-
beautiful.
We've waited
They
a
are
moment,
beautiful.
and here they are. This, in particular, what we're seeing right now is the Space
Their hair
Wolves
is going
Army launch
everywhere.
set coming to you soon. Included in there is the new Wolf
They are
Priest,
just
the new
also,
Battle
I mean, they're
Leader,
Space Wolves. They
the
should
new
be
Head
drenched in
Takers,
fur, but
the
God,
Blood
they are
Claws and the
drenched in
Grey
fur.
Hunters. We're all getting new miniatures there. We'll talk about all of these. They got the new Codex in there as well. Oh wow. What a force. And let's have a look at some of the models.
Which,
shall we? Starting off with the Wolf Priest.
The Wolf Priest is very cool.
My,
Hold
my
on.
compatriot Simon here tells
God,
me
he's so cool.
that aside from a random game day miniature,
Yeah, the
some 20 years
pauldron,
ago,
on one of their
this is the
pauldrons, they
first
have
time
the
Games Workshop has
emblem
done a Wolf
for-
Priest miniature. So it's great to see, and I'm right.
Like the
thinking this is
Beowulfs
kind of a
in
mix between an
that
apothecary and
Ulfar's
a
part
chaplain.
of, but they're like they're all space wolves. But what's the what's the squads within where they like give themselves their own name?
Spiritual advisors.
Yeah, I guess a pack. So what pack would have the
It's really nice. This mod's actually got
dual
quite a few options here as well. The head
yellow
options, helmeted, bare
fangs
heads
going
as well.
sideways with the red background?
You can,
Or is it vice
restore-
versa? Is it
restore
yellow
rules to
background with
units
red fangs?
you've
I can't
joined.
remember
You
now.
also add one to
The
melee
space-
win rolls. Literally, it's got rules from both the
priest doesn't have
and
it
the chaplaincy
visible.
as well. Which
I think
is
it's on
just
that
cool.
arm, but I can't
Also in
tell.
the box set,
Maybe it
we've
is
got
yellow with
another
red.
leader, the Wolfguard Battle Leader.
Oh, he's
my
so
favourite
cool.
model of the box, this one.
I will admit they do a really good
cool.
job with
Again,
the
lots of options here.
beard
helmeted,
sculpts
bare
on
heads,
Space
different
Wolves.
weapon options as well.
They nail 'em.
Who are the Wolfguard Battle Leaders?
So these guys are members of the Wolf Guard, and they're deputized into leading warriors.
You know,
on
that's a good
battlefield.
point.
It's
I do-
actually the
Did
equivalent
the orcs
of,
win the last war on
especially
Armageddon? Because it was orcs and
they're typically temporary positions.
humans
They've
last
worked
time,
on
right?
Years, decades.
With
So
some Eldar.
temporary is
With
a-
some
is a
Eldar,
odd
yeah.
term to use. They've got access to ancient and powerful relics from the Great Company's armory, and when the Wolf Lord Lord falls, it is from amongst these Wolfguard that his replacement is found, so giving them experience in these leadership roles is invaluable.
You want these guys leading your units into combat, specifically your Wolfguard head takers, your Grey Hunters, or your Blood Claws, which is the next unit we're going to have a look at here. Look at these.
I love his expression. That first guy.
Unit. These guys.
Okay,
are
his
these sort of
expression's
newer
great too.
Space Wolves.
Also his
Loads of
hair.
options
Again,
all over the kit.
their hair is
Different
just all
heads and things as
blowing
well.
in the
They're wearing
wind.
slightly lighter armor than other Marines as well, so they look like they're a bit newer. That suits their background, right?
Yeah, they're young and impetuous, and they need to prove themselves, temper themselves in battle. Like
Oh,
all
is that what
chapters,
happened?
training
Is
hard and
Gazgul just got
extensive,
ADHD
but
and was like, I'm
battlefield
bored, there's no one
experience is the
for me to
most
fight
valuable,
here, and I'm going to go find someone else. I mean, that makes sense.
Discouraged from taking up positions in the vanguard.
I mean,
That's
the
pretty cool.
implication
Like, now,
has been that,
as Blood Claws have been in the
Gazgul
past,
is
these
gonna
guys
go
are
looking for
combat
Angron
centric, kind of
after
start his
Angron
chainsaw
killed
and their
Yarg.
bolt pistol. But the big
Oh,
news
yeah.
here is that all Space Wolves infantry
Well,
in
that-
tactics armor, they are movement
Interesting. I
7.
wonder
They're
if that
fast
means
enough
eventually
space
the
wolves,
orcs will
they're desperate to
be
get
added
into
into
combat.
this,
They're
like,
cunning hunters as
battle
well,
on
allowing them to
Armageddon
reroll
then,
ones
because,
to wound. And if
I mean,
the target is
word
a major
bearers are
objective, they
there.
can reroll all wounds, which is pretty
And isn't
cool.
that-
Just like the
or
Grey
sorry,
Hunters,
World Eaters,
who
sorry,
are the
World
other
Eaters are
iconic
there,
Space Wolf unit
which
that
is
we are seeing new
Angron's,
models
like,
for
boys,
here as
right?
well. Again, all plastic, loads of options for the pack leader.
The sword and board
lots
is
of options
cool.
all over the kits to really
Space
personalise
Wolves,
your
like,
wounds, which is perfect for
oh,
Grey
his
Hunters,
face is
as
so
they're
cool.
sort of- they're more the
I
veteran
understand why
Marines.
people really
So
get
they've
into them.
survived
I really
long
do.
enough as Blood Claws to become Grey Hunters, and this is when the Canis Helixes really
Oh,
present
I
a bit
like
more
his
apparent.
head.
So they've got grey hairs.
Dude, they have
fangs,
really
rougher
good
skin.
head sculpts for
Those,
these
like,
guys. They've
feline
gotten
developments
so
that
much
we
more
love with the
varied with
Space
them.
Wolves. They're really
Thank
closely
goodness.
bonded units.
I felt like they were really repetitive for the while. Like, the only person, the only chapter that should have repetitive head sculpts is the freaking Alpha Legion.
Absolutely core. But these guys are great at everything.
Because as far as I
They
know,
have
like all the
starters,
other ones
chainsaws,
are
so
like,
they pack a
no
punch in
one's
combat.
trying to look
Each Marine
exactly
carries the
like
Bolt
their, you know, their
Carbine,
Primarch.
allowing to fire up to 3 shots
They're allowed to
apiece.
have
The
individuality
pack leaders
and
have a
like
power fist
want
or a
to,
power
whereas
weapon.
the Alpha
big
Legion
news
is like,
here,
nope, we
as well
all
as
look like
making them,
Alpharius.
7 inches like the Blood Claws, is that this unit
I am
are
Alpharius.
OC 3 apiece, which
We're
makes it
all
absolutely perfect
Alpharius.
for holding and capturing
You,
objectives from
me,
the enemy.
him,
They are absolutely
him.
core, and I hate to admit it, but they might be one of the best core battle line units in the Imperial forces. So yeah, get your hands on, or your claws on some of these.
God, yeah, they look really good.
Up next, we've got the elites of the force, the head takers, and their hunting wolves.
So the head takers tend to be from those Wolfguard who still retain some of their youthful recklessness.
They really
And
do look
specialise
good,
in
don't
hunting
they?
down enemy champions, beasts, warlords. Those Fenrisian wolves with them are closely bonded to them, and it's so strong that it's almost
There
as if
are
it
no
acts as
wolves on
act
Fenris.
as one.
How are there
Just because of their
Fenrisian
instinctive
wolves?
Coordination.
These are elite infantry, similar to Blade Guard veterans you might recognise from the Space Marines. They have loads of options. There's 9 interchangeable head options.
So
in the
are the
kits, whether you're
Wolfens
bare
supposed
helmeted
to go
your
full
your bare heads or your helmeted. There's lots of
Possibly
bare heads in
one
the Space
day,
Marine
however,
kits,
I
which is
think
great because that really
what was
suits them.
implied was that the
You can
original
give these guys
Wolfen
different weapon
were
options. They can
cursed
come with a
with
mastercrafted power weapon
mutation
shield or a pair of mastercrafted power weapons for
Leland
6
Rush
attacks apiece.
showed up and sort of
The
figured out
head takers
the
and hunting wolves
wolf
fight as
spirits of
separate
Fenris.
units on the battlefield,
I
which
see.
is quite
So now
interesting.
they
So you can
hang
run them around
continuity
separately.
between the wolves
And
that exist
you were
are
talking
the
about the sort of going for their
descendants.
big monsters and
How
the
were there
champions there.
female wolves
Before
is
the
the
game,
next
you select
question.
one
I
enemy
don't
unit
know!
to
Yeah, wait a minute,
to
wait,
be
wait.
and
I
they get
saw
devastating
Jurassic
wounds
Park. I
and
saw
completely
Jurassic Park. They
targeting
were
that
all
quarry, and
women.
when they've killed it, they just select a new unit and a new quarry, which is
So are you
terrifying.
telling me?
Of course.
Okay,
inside the
I am
box,
accepting this as
we're also
headcanon.
seeing the Space Wolves Codex
That-
supplement as well.
headcanon
Like
has
the
happened.
in conjunction
The
with Space
headcanon has
Marines,
now happened?
Codex as well, but it
That
contains,
when Space
some
Wolves
full
go
background
wolfing
of
and
Space
turn
Wolves
full wolf,
faction,
they turn into
the colour
girls.
section with loads of cool shots of
Or at least some of them.
miniatures
Half
and
of them
the
have to
obvious
turn into
codex,
women,
of course.
so that the
There are
wolves can
three
reproduce.
characters
Oh,
inside, each with
no!
their own theme and their
I
own
would read
saga
that.
to complete
I
the
would
saga,
read that.
get additional
I
rules,
would-
which is
I
really
would
cool.
read
And
the
in
fuck out of
Crusade,
that.
There are new Oathsworn campaigns expanding on those in
That's
Space
what would make
Marines
it beautiful. Look
Codex.
how beautiful this box is,
so the
by the way,
Space Marine
guys.
theme
And
starts
then
to
the
include
art on
own deeds of
the
making,
fancy cover.
exclusive battle
I'm
tapes,
really
stars,
sad. I
agenda,
don't think I'm going to be able to get my hands on the box set for the Emperor's Children. It seems to have just
asides, the
gone.
addendums
We should've
that are
gotten
added
them
to
when
it.
we saw
And there's
it.
a quote from
Did we
Inquisitor
actually
that
see it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They are
But we
deviants,
didn't
all
wanna
these
spend
space
money
wolves,
at the time.
uncouth and
Yeah.
lacking in honour, informal and without
I need to
discipline.
actually- I
They
never
respond with
checked.
contempt
I'm going to
direct
right now.
orders, scoff at Lord Guilliman's
Games of
Codex
Berkeley.
Astartes, and treat the orders orders of Imperial commanders
Can you
with
do it after the
contempt.
stream?
Yeah, I
I
can do
think
it
that
after the
sums
stream.
them
Also,
up.
pull yourself in. You're
Yeah,
like
and an
half
awful lot
off
of
the
Space Wolf
screen.
players I've met as well, to be fair. You know who you guys are. Well, that's an incredible range of miniatures coming for the Space Wolves. And what's more, that's not all. There's going to be more coming as well.
Even
We just
more?
haven't shown you everything yet. Expect some more characters, some more elite units coming too. But keep your acute
Do you think
senses fixed
Ragnar's
on
gonna get
Warhammer
an
Community
update?
website, where you can get to see more of
he
those
got
in the
updated
very
like
near
4
future.
years
So
ago.
I was about to ask. I was like, when was
that
his
range
last
refresh we've
update?
been
Because I
looking
feel
for
like
is here.
It's when Goswell
Congratulations,
got
guys. But let's have a
Oh,
look now over
right,
to
'cause he
questions
came
from
out-
Ed.
Painted for 2
Folks are going to be
years.
happy about the space.
Well,
Wolves,
when
surely.
we get
They
closer to the
are
Space
indeed.
Wolf release, I
There's
will.
lots of love for Space Wolves. Space Wolf related question though is: do we know if Thunderwolf cavalry are still going to be riding across the battlefield?
So we're not going
yes.
to answer any questions about that right now because the Warhammer Community website is going to give you more details about what's going to be included in the codex coming forward. There's loads of articles coming about that. So just
yes.
keep your eyes on Warhammer Community for now, and all
We
the,
won't
all the
answer that
questions will be
now,
answered right
but
there on the website. And sign up for the
yes.
newsletter if you haven't already, for definite.
Yeah, but a couple of questions.
Ooh, that's true. Do you think we'll see him return?
Throughout.
Do you think they'll finally? They're
Imperial
gonna
Knights,
finally give us
obviously, the last
Russ.
roadmap they appeared as
They're
one
gonna
of the
finally
next
bring him out of the
characters,
warp.
and obviously we've
He's
got
gonna show
Chaos
back up,
coming
big
at
wolf
similar
daddy.
time. When can we
And
see
be like,
Imperial Knights, do we think?
Grumble, 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 roar. Because that's what I imagine he'll do.
Okay.
Still to
Interesting,
come,
interesting.
essentially.
I did that too deep, and I like totally like blew out my throat a little.
That's another question that's been asked since the beginning.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be real pedantic here, but in White Dwarf 509, they got 2 named characters in the combat patrol. So there we go. That they already exist. As for other named characters in the future, I don't.
I'm
know.
sure they're gonna bring
Keep
Russ
your eyes on
back.
Warcom. We
He's
haven't
one of
talked
the
about it here, we can't mention it yet.
ambiguous
Warhammer
ones that's
Community's got
still
them.
technically alive, but just
they
lost
tied
in the
back
warp.
on
And I'm sure
questions
he'll
about release
force
dates
his
and
way
release dates,
100% back
doing
out of the
something,
warp.
doing some Warcom.
Possibly with this
One
codex,
question
it would
about
be
those,
appropriate considering we just got Fulgrim.
Ooh,
and
yes,
everything,
yeah,
so,
yeah,
like,
it's gonna be released,
that would be
soon,
great.
but then we'll see other stuff coming
And
out
yeah, I think
later
they
as well.
I think they'll do
Release
it.
dates and
I
everything,
also think it could
completely
be
up to, other people other than us.
potentially very
Warhammer
narratively
Community and
interesting if they
social media
really
channels
want to
and
go
content
there,
for
and
that.
I
I
hope they
know
do,
we've
to
got
have
plenty
like
of
Russ
questions
and
we wanna answer,
Gilliman.
guys. We can't say everything
Chat.
quite yet. But keep your eyes on Warhammer Community. That's the place to look.
I do have a potential lore-based question. Obviously, we're coming back to Armageddon. Wouldn't be Armageddon without Old Man Yarick. Now,
Oh my
is he
god,
still
that would actually be
abandoned?
so cool.
As we saw from the Astra Militarum Codex a while back, Yarick is, as far as the Imperium is concerned, deceased. There was a great memorial for him.
That would actually be cool. I hadn't
So,
thought about. I'm
unfortunately-
not as familiar
No.
with his name.
Well, at least
Arjack, is that how
it's
it's
said?
said? I can't remember either specifically if that's correct, but the Terminator champion for the Space Wolves. That would be cool.
Sorry, guys. He's an old man no longer. But hope that answers that, but maybe not the way you wanted us to, I guess.
Oh, you know what would be
Anything else,
also
Ed?
interesting because
Yeah, again,
the
this
Lion's
is what
back too,
questions
so
about
Russ could have like
maybe
Russ,
what the
Gilliman, and the Lion meeting up would
Do
be
you know what?
Check out Warcom.
We would love to answer
Fascinating.
all those questions, guys. And as hobbyists ourselves, we totally understand, but we can't say
Gilliman
everything right
would
now.
pull his
Keep your
hair
eyes on
out.
Warhammer's website. And
yeah. I think Gilliman
fact,
might shoot Russ,
we have
but
a
like
look right now, a little look further ahead at what might be coming next for Warhammer 40,000.
what's coming after
So,
the Wolves?
coming up first, we've got the Thousand Suns. They're going to be marching in with those new Sector
All right,
robots.
so Thousand Suns
And
come
we've got
next,
Space
then
Wolves
Wolves,
howling in.
then the World
The
Eaters.
World Eaters.
My
Finally,
Death Guard.
the Death Guard are going to make a slow trudge up the field.
I think that means we're getting
And
near
quite
the end
soon
of
as
the
well.
edition.
They're saying
I think
right
it is
now
too.
on the screen, so they're coming real soon, which is good news for all you Chaos fans and Space Wolf fans.
Dude, I am so excited for those Thousand
Now,
Sun
what's coming next?
Sentry
We've got the
units.
Black Templars, we've got the
Black Templar, then
Knights,
Grey
the
Knights.
Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights are stomping over the horizon as we speak.
Okay.
And then a little bit further on, these are three
Salamanders?
actions coming. Now, I'm pretty sure I can guess at least
Yep.
two of these.
Yeah, me too. but
And
they
that's,
are definitely
is that-
interesting.
That was
And in the
Fists.
That was
far
Fists, but
future,
Imperial Fists or Crimson
something's
Fists?
coming in
Imperial
a shadowy
is
shape.
black.
What could it be?
Fair.
Let us know in the chat what you
That's
think
a
that could
that's
be,
just
'cause
a
that's
oh
got
my
to be pretty
god.
certain.
Thanks
What do you
GW.
reckon?
That's a
I reckon there's a few
generic
good
ass
ones.
shadow
Yeah,
of
me
a
too.
fucking space marine with a
So there we go.
backpack.
Things
That's what's coming for the future for Warhammer 40,000.
I hate when they do that.
We've got just
Like,
enough
this
time
is a
for a couple more
worthless.
questions.
This is a worthless
Anything else
reveal.
that's burning
This
people wanna
main
know?
thing hasn't been, but that last
A lot of
shadow was
questions
worthless.
About Warcry, where we're at with the current edition. Obviously, we've still got a lot of Warcry miniatures out at the moment. We've got any updates on Warcry?
Nothing to report at the moment. Again, keep your eyes on one. It's going to be the same answer pretty much. Just keep your eyes on one community for all updates as that sort of thing.
This
Anything
is
else?
why them doing
Yeah,
live
these
stuff is
Thousand Suns are
stupid.
related to Vashtor in any way.
that's a good
They've got
question.
the dark mechanic.
Ooh, time will tell.
Time will tell. Vashtor, of course, is the sort of the dark mechanic of the Chaos Forces, right?
Yes.
Has he perhaps built them, maybe?
Oh,
I don't know.
These are ancient robots.
Oh,
so
okay.
these have been around for a very long time. But that's
I
not to
feel
say that
bad
Bash Tourism
for
don't
the
have some
people
sort
who
of
are in
annual
their
meetings
chat,
about
like
it.
in the Twitch
Please
chat,
happy
and who
to
are
provide
legitimately
an exercise
going and
of
wondering
what
about
would-
like
it wouldn't
some
strike
of
me as
these
plausible.
questions, like what's going
There we
on
go.
with
Do you
Warcry,
know what? That's been an
etc.
absolutely brilliant show.
And they're
We've seen
just
some
like,
fantastic releases,
I'm
some
gonna keep
fantastic
telling
previews
you the
coming up.
same answer
We
I
saw
keep
some
telling you,
Old
which
World,
is to check back
we
on
saw,
Warhammer Community at a later
Killteam.
date because
Yes.
there will be articles about
Space
it.
Wolves,
Space
all
Wolves.
those 40
Saying
I have
absolutely.
no idea right now.
Yeah, like they have no
Spearhead
idea
Squad.
and or they
Yeah.
are not
What's been your
privy to
favourite
tell
of
us
the
whatever it
Warhammer
is coming other than the scripted
awfully
stuff that
tempted
they're
by the
supposed to
Ravagers
tell
and
us
Killteam
about.
boss, but I think
And
it's going to have to be the Grand Cafe.
I just genuinely feel bad for the people who are
Me, I think I'm a Spearhead
legitimately
fan, so
asking
I'm
those
really looking forward
questions.
to playing
And they're
Simon
just
Code.
like, shrug,
And,
we don't
I
know.
can't wait to see some
But we
action
can't tell you
movements
we don't
from
know,
those
so we're
as
gonna
well.
we're gonna be
It's gonna be
ambiguous
good.
and vague about
It's
it.
been an absolute blast. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us here on the preview
Well,
show.
thank you
Just a
guys.
quick one. If you want to see any more pictures and information about what we've shown here today, make sure you're going over to the Warhammer Community website where you
I'm
can
gonna
have a
do
look
that
at
right
some
now.
more pictures.
Let's see
and
if they
check out
have
more
anything
information.
else as
And
a
also sign up to the newsletter
sneaky
there as well, which is
little
where you'll get all the
sneaky
first
little
information.
last
You can
preview.
sign up to our
They
social
sometimes
media,
do
which
that.
is again where you'll see loads of pictures. You can see on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X. Sign up there and get all the information straight to you. And also, this weekend at Adepticon, we have other streams coming right here on Twitch as well. So if you
One of
wanna
which
see
is the Hobby
Warhammer
collab. I
40,000
believe they're streaming at
Championship or the
Adepticon,
Warhammer 40,000
which is
team
super cool
tournaments,
for them.
They're all being streamed over the next 4 days up until Sunday. So do check them out right here on Twitch. Thank you to everyone involved behind the scenes, behind the camera. Those of you in the chat, Notley, you're absolute legend. Thank you so much indeed. Alex, Ed, it's been a real pleasure. I think that's it, guys. I think we're signing out.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
Ah, no extra bonus thing. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, let's refresh. However, let's close this. Let's refresh the preview. All right, so we saw the show. Let's take a look at our Space Wolves, because I know this is why most of you guys are here. You're all just such simps for Russ and his wolves. It's fine. I understand. They are beautiful. I mean, they really are actually quite gorgeous sculpts. The nice thing is, and I will give I wish GW leaned into, frankly, the imagery of some of their legions a bit more than they already do. Thankfully, the wolves are one that they definitely do that with. I think they nailed the armor to fur ratio on the Space Wolves. Their faces are wolfy enough. I love that you get a dude in a beak helmet, by the way. This is 40k, not Horus Heresy, but no, this bro is still rocking his Mark IV helmet. Power to him. I love it. And then you got the normal helmet. It's so good. But I love the this guy's earring. How freaking sick is that? I love it. So good. So they do a good job. He's wolfing out. This guy, he's chill, bro. That is super stoic. This guy is ready to party and wolfing out so hard. But it's sick. And I think they did a really good job. There's also just enough of the runes and the fangs and various little icons essentially that they would have on their armor that they've maintained, and I think that's great. It's one of the complaints that I had about the Blood Angels is I feel like they stripped a lot of that iconography of the Blood Angels. A lot of the vampirism seemed to kind of be stripped out of their outfits, their armor, and I'm so glad that they have not done that as much seemingly with the wolves. Because, the wolves, frankly, aren't as problematic, I guess. I don't know why they think the Blood Angels are, iconography with the blood drop is problematic. But, I feel like they do. I feel like that's why they ditched the wings on the Sanguinary Guard. I don't understand. But, something about it triggered them. And they were like, we can't do this anymore. And I'm glad that didn't happen with the wolves. Because I feel like if they didn't make them as fuzzy look at that dude's unibrow. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I think people would be upset, but these guys look great. God, I love, genuinely, the variety in the hair sculpts alone is spectacular. Or you can just not worry about it and you can helmet all of them. Isn't this, I didn't think Space Wolves really liked helmets.
They don't.
Then what the fuck are these men doing? What are these wolves doing? Here we have our head takers. They looked rad. I like the shields. I'm a big shield fan.
I I really liked, Seth Rollins and Roman, but really
I did the
Moxley's
fist thing after I did that. I was like, I said it, and I was like, I couldn't. I was waiting. I was so waiting. I was like, who's gonna be the first to comment? Dude, I understand. Well, that's why we just look at them. We stare at them, we window shop, we go, ooh, those are pretty, and then we cry a little bit that we can't purchase them, and then it's fine though, because we just move on and we enjoy the things that we already have. I say as I saw because I should have bought the Thousands or the Emperor's Children when I saw them. Honestly, the Wolf Priest is my favorite. His is that appropriate? Should he ever take his mask off? I don't actually know much about the Wolf Priest, so I don't know if they're kind of like the is it just the chaplains that have the skull masks normally?
Sorry?
Chaplains. They're the ones with the skull masks normally, right?
Yes, but I think rune priests do in
Well, that makes sense, but like normally, like I feel like chaplains don't often show their faces, like just for some reason. They always are in the skull mask.
It's because it's the face of the Emperor. By taking on that role, they basically are meant to always and forever be the gaze of the Emperor amongst their brothers.
Is that what it is? Okay, so I find it interesting. I mean, it makes a certain amount of sense, but I find it interesting that they gave the the Wolf Priest. Sorry, I called him a Rune Priest. The Wolf Priest unhelmeted options.
Well, he's a psyker. He's not a chaplain.
Oh, he doesn't... Oh, I see. He doesn't play the role... I thought he played the role of the chaplain. I'm sorry. That's my misunderstanding.
I think they have chaplains that are separate.
That would make sense. Oh, well, both storytellers and healers. So they are still... So they're playing the chaplain role, but they may have like a beyond just chaplain role.
Well, storyteller is not chaplain. That's librarian.
Well, no, but healer is.
No, healer is apothecary.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Chaplain would be more of the like a priest or like a chaplain. Mm-hmm. Okay, so these guys are like a mix of apothecary and librarians then, which would make sense because librarians are psychic.
Too.
Oh, maybe that'd be cool. Yeah, it was a really good. It really was a good show, wasn't it? Wolf priests are the chaplain and apothecary. Okay. So they're the combo of the two roles. Okay. That makes sense. So are they allowed, like, is this common? Like, do you see wolf priests then without their skull helmets fairly regularly then? Because they also play the apothecary role? Is that why they're maybe, or is it just because wolves, like, as a whole, like, the space wolves just really don't like having their helmets on? On a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate the show probably an...
7 or an 8?
I would say a 7 or 8. I think not because I thought the reveals were necessarily lackluster. I actually thought all the reveals were very cool. I appreciate them attempting to do a live show again because I know for the last couple of streams it was all they weren't actively engaging with chat at all. I don't like the show could have possibly still been live, but it also felt very pre-recorded. And I personally kind of liked the pre-recorded stuff because they were to the point. However, I understand they're trying to be a bit more social and be a little bit more like connected with their community. And I do think people were upset when they went to the pre-recorded stuff. Because I think the fans and their chat likes to harass them while they're doing these streams and ask questions and like spam stuff. So I get it. I understand that. And so I don't really mind that they brought it back in, but like, I guess I don't know how to find the proper balance beyond what they did because like they did keep it limited. They only gave like question time for a very short period and it was handled by a separate person who wasn't the host. So they were able to pick and choose what questions they asked and possibly even combine them to be able to get as many people's questions answered as possible within a very short limited period of time, which is nice. But like when certainly the guy handling the chat had to have known probably the answers to some of these questions himself, I would hope. That would, to me, on a development side, make sense. So that he can screen the questions and make sure that they are maybe something that the host can actually answer. So I feel like choosing to ask questions, like even if they're common, but choosing to ask questions about like things that are not part of the stream which they're clearly just not going to talk about, like, they know they're not going to talk about those things. They know they don't have answers to those questions, so why bother asking them? It's those little things that knock the show down for me. I actually think I just prefer them to continue to do the pre-recorded and not bother with engaging with chat, because that's not what... These shows are set up to be purely commercial. And I mean that in a literally, they are commercials for new products coming out from the company. I don't really care about them necessarily engaging with us as the audience in that regard, because they are always just going to give you the same blanket, vague answers. And I know this because I've gone to cons as a professional, like within the board game store like world, back when I used to work at a game store, and I went to a couple of Games Workshop like presentations at Gamma, and it was mostly Gamma actually, but I think there was Gen Con. I also went to one of the presentations there, and people asked questions, and the people who worked the booth and everything and were giving the presentation to most of those questions were like, we can't talk about that. Oh, we don't have the answer to that. Oh, we can't say. We're unsure. Like, they never even said they were unsure. They were all just like, we can't say. We can't talk about that right now. And it's like, okay, so you're useless. Like, this presentation is useless. It was specifically, I'm remembering, like, at Gamma, I think it was like the release of... It was either...
Was it 9th?
It was either 9th edition, possibly 10th edition, like the announcement of 10th edition, or like a Killteam thing. I can't remember now, but like,
it was like
the entire audience,
2019.
Yeah, the entire audience was like, everybody wants to know the answer to this question, and the people were just like giving us shit-eating grins and telling us that like they couldn't talk about it, or that they could not say. And it was just so infuriating, and the fact that like they continue to just do that in their live streams irritates me. It just feels a little unprofessional, and like it feels like they're doing, like, basically them engaging with the audience at that point to only be able to give those answers feels backhanded. And that's why I would prefer them not to do it. I'd rather just have the pre-recorded stuff. But overall, oh my goodness, Kita, calm down. I will feed you in a second. We're just wrapping up. I also love that they're at least giving us the timeline. Okay, so definitely salamanders, definitely fists. Yeah, they're definitely yellow. Okay, so new Imperial fists, new salamanders. I'm so excited actually for the salamanders. Dude, talk about an underloved faction. I hope they go crazy with the dragon motif. I hope they go absolutely crazy with the dragon motif. I know, we always want some sister models, right? I don't know what this one is. I can't quite tell. There is like what looks like a pattern on this arm, but I can't tell if it's just like a crease in the elbow or if it's actually a sculpted thing. And there's no evidence of like, what is on this shield?
Control scroll.
Okay. All right, it's behind me. Can I scoot it? Okay, let me bring it a little bit lower. Oh my god, it's... All right, there we go. We've zoomed in. So there is a circular line here. Is this just... No, Death Guard's here. Who would have a heavy breather like apparatus? Votan, maybe? Oh, you know what? Maybe it is Votan. They would have the big cords, wouldn't they? I'm trying to like... Because it looks like it's going up to a mask, which made me originally think Death Guard, because a lot of their models have the cord sort of looking like intestines going from like their rebreathers and everything. But I think you're right. I think it must be Votan. I know a couple people that'll be very excited about that. Actually, one of the people in my one of my modeling club, he'll be very excited about that. He did a really cool display actually. He did a diorama and he put it into you know those cases that you can put like you get them at like Michael's and various other frame shops, and they're a shadow box style case, and they're designed for sports balls. So like you can put like baseballs, multiple. multiple types of balls for sports. So like football. So you're throwing me off. Football and baseball and all kinds of stuff. He used that and he built the diorama into that, so it had a sealed case and everything. It was really cool. The only disadvantage was like the little nub that they put in there to set the ball on was not removable. The sport ball.
The sport ball.
Whatever. I don't play sports. I don't like. That's not. I swam and that's it. Okay.
I gotta take you to an NFL game.
Oh, I'm gonna call it sports ball. There. I'll get punched.
No, you won't.
Probably not, but I'll be laughed at. That'll be fun. But yeah, no, I think you're right. Votan would be very cool. All right, so I feel like we're pretty good there. I mean, Space Wolves are really the main thing. I want to look real quick. Space Wolves, Armageddon. Jesus Christ, I can't believe we're going back. I can't believe we're going back.
We gotta go back, Marty.
I don't want to go back, Doc. This is the other thing that blew my mind. I think the Cathay, like Grand Cathay being announced for Old World blew my mind. That was out of nowhere. I had not seen
I knew it was coming.
I had not seen much coverage. I had hoped with Total War Warhammer 3 that they would be like, all right, here you go, everybody, Cathay in miniature form, because we now have. I mean, either I was assuming that the sculpts in Total War Warhammer 3 were based off of these, or they were going to base these off of the sculpts in the game. So, like, one or the other. And I think, I don't know which is which. I don't know how long these have been in development. But, like, regardless, probably, I assume Cathay was in longer development or in earlier development as part of Total War Warhammer 3, just because that game is already out and they had to, like, be in development for that. So I imagine... maybe it was simultaneous. Who knows? But regardless, I love seeing these guys. Like, this is so cool. And the best thing about it, they're all gonna be plastic. Isn't that lovely? Beautiful plastic, new old world models, and it's just gonna be great. Oh, look at I like the ears on this guy. They make him look bird-like. It's very cute. I think the Grand Cannon is low-key one of my favorite models from this. I love sets like this. I have I painted up the Empire catapult. Is it catapult? No, trebuchet. Sorry. The superior. Was it the Bretonnians?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right, because it was the lady had her shrine. Sorry, yes, it was the trebuchet for the Bretonnians. And I painted that up and I really liked it because it had multiple models that came with the trebuchet itself to basically make the trebuchet function, and I love that they have done that here with this. They've just... and then the fact that they have the Fire Rain rocket battery, like, as an alternative is super cool. Also, the dragon head is, like, the cannon for it. It's just great. This looks so cool. I love this. I want one in real life. So cool. I think this is also my other favorite, like, sculpt, though. I love the lantern ship. What a fun design. I hope the clear stem that they were using to prop it up is not a pain in the ass to actually make stable and get in there. Also, can we just appreciate how detailed the interior little, like, basket of this thing is? Look how many people are in there, and look how cute they are. Like, this dude's lighting a bomb with his like, pipe. Amazing. The Sentinels are sick. I also really love the color treatment that they did on them. They look so much like stone. It's great. I also like the terracotta vibe, too. Oh, which do I like more? Do I like the gray vibe or the terracotta? I don't know. But yeah. Oh, and then we've got a girl who transforms into a giant, powerful dragon. Super cool. Like, it's just... I'm very hyped for this to come out. Hopefully it is not going to be, like, too long to wait for Cathay. Although... oops. What? Although if it is, it's not that big of a deal because I have other things to buy.
I was gonna say, really, do you not have enough stuff to paint?
No, I have plenty of things to paint. But yeah, I really enjoyed the preview. I thought it was pretty good. I would rate it probably, I'm gonna say a 7.5 out of 10 as my final score for the preview. It's brought down by having no Blood Bowl and having dumb questions asked and even vaguer and stupider and kind of insulting answers given back to those questions even being allowed to be asked in the first place. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this evening. There will not be a stream tomorrow. I've got a little bit of recording to do tomorrow, and I want to make sure to focus on that and just make sure that I have plenty of time for that it gets done and everything. So no stream tomorrow, but we will be back on Friday. I will be streaming here on the main channel. I will likely be painting some Legion. I want to keep working on my army. I have been slowly making progress on them, but it has been excruciatingly slow because I've been sidetracked with other things. But I want to get back onto things because we have a stream hopefully coming up where we're going to play some Legion. So I want to keep working on my army, go over my rules and everything, and that is the plan. So I'll see you guys this Friday. And then on Saturday, make sure that you are here at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time because I will be finally wrapping up my playthrough of Rogue Trader. We are in the last act. We are going to wrap it up on Saturday. It's going to probably be a little bit of a long stream. I'll probably take a dinner break, like for, probably half an hour to an hour, depending on where we're at in the story and how much longer I think I have. But it should be very, very fun, and I'm looking forward to it because I have just frankly been adoring the narrative in Rogue Trader. I think Owlcat did an exceptional job bringing a Black Library like book to life. Like this isn't a Black Library story that they're telling, but it's written in a way that makes me feel like I am living in a Black Library novel, and that is so cool to me. So very excited to wrap that up this Saturday. Anyways, see you guys next time. Have a lovely hobby night, and I'll see you later. Bye.